welcome to This Week in Laker Football, your exclusive weekly look into the West Bloomfield Lakers varsity football team all throughout the season. I'm your host, Tyler Kieft, alongside Zach Hilbers on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Coach, coming off a 44-0 victory and quite a way to come back out and bounce back from those two consecutive losses.
Yeah, certainly was. I told the kids, winning's hard. I don't care what it looks like at the end of the game, like the preparation that goes into it. You got to do things the right way all week. So I was really proud of them for, after coming off an emotional loss against Adams, kind of bouncing back the way they did for homecoming.
And it was an impressive showing right from the jump, the defense getting out and taking care of business early on against the Southfield offense that was starting to build a little bit of chemistry in the past couple of weeks and definitely showed a few weeks back their scoring abilities. How proud were you of your defense for setting the tone really from the very jump of that ball game?
Really proud. I think they needed it after the way the Adams game ended, with Adams kind of having that long, soul-sucking drive to take the lead. I gave Southfield a ton of credit in our film sessions. At the end of the half, they really had a long, sustained drive themselves. To got down maybe into our 10-yard line or so, and we were able to come up with a big interception right before half, which really was, in my opinion, one of the final turning points of the game.
That was what was interesting, too, about that defensive performance is your playmakers showed up, but some other players that have been making key plays kind of in the shadows throughout the season made some big plays there. You talk about that interception from Kalik Robinson and others who showed up on the defensive side throughout the game really also had a very big performance that helped you make that a shutout.
Yeah, I was really happy for Kalik. He's worked really hard. He kind of was a fifth-quarter kid last year, split time on varsity as a sophomore. Didn't play a ton, but we thought learned a lot from the guys ahead of him. And he's worked hard all offseason, so to get rewarded like that's pretty cool. I'm really happy for him. Other guys like Josh Bryan, I think, got in there, got a sack. We had other linebackers coming in, rotating in, making plays. It was good to get those guys experience.
And to get them experience, too, kind of mixed in with the starters, mixed in with that first string, and seeing what can really happen when you have that depth build over the course of the season. How did that sort of serve as a lesson for the younger players on this team about how the depth of this program can really be an asset to your team going forward the rest of this year?
Well, yeah, it's really crucial. You never know who's going to get hurt, whether it's a cramp or a sprained ankle. They need a few plays, or, it's a more serious injury where you might need a few games. But you need people at least ready to step up and play, whether that's knowing what to do or just getting used to the speed of the game. They got to be ready for both.
Something I noticed throughout that 44-0 victory is every time it seemed like we went to a shot of your guys on the sideline, everyone was focused, even up 30-0 or 44-0 late in the ball game. It didn't seem like anyone was in a rah-rah mood. They were laser focused on the 48 minutes ahead. How did those last 2 weeks really instill that lesson in your team that they need to be focused from the jump to the finish?
Well, you have to kind of see it through, otherwise you never know what's going to happen if you're in a football game. So I'm glad about that. And really, when we were able to put some of the other guys into the game, I'm glad the starters, I tell them, these guys support you most every other game. You're going to get up there, you're paying attention, you're going to support them just as much. So that was kind of the focus when we put those guys in the game. Just be there, help them learn, cheer them on, and just really be a good team.
Offensively, clearly on the scoreboard it shows it, but even just by the numbers and by watching the play of your offense, it seemed like they were really in tune this week, and that really began from your quarterback, Bo Jackson. His most efficient game of the season, 5 for 8 passing, over 100 yards, a touchdown, not a single interception, or one that was really in range of being picked off. How impressive of a game was that for number 8?
He did really well, and I thought he played pretty well against Adams, save one throw in that opening, the second drive where we had a turnover in the red zone. So, he's putting together a few good games. Jamal played really well, too, when he got his chances out there. And our special teams really did a good job of giving us really short fields. So, give the offense credit for finishing drives, but we had a shorter field to go for most of the game because our special teams unit did so well.
And on the topic of special teams, you talk about how they place your defense in opportune positions. That comes down to skill and precision from guys like Jaden on the punting side and then Justin on the kicking side. I mean, coming into that game for the first 3 weeks, perfect on PATs, just a different situation there with that one miss, and got a chance at a decently long field goal. How important can special teams really be when it comes down to it, putting you in opportune positions to make plays, especially as we get into the thick of this OAA red schedule?
It's definitely important. I don't just say that because I coach it, as with the team. But when it it gets to close games, it can be a sway either way. You know, obviously, you think of the big plays on offense or big turnovers or sways on defense, but I really think the game against Utica Eisenhower last year, for example, in the district finals, that was won on special teams with punt returns and then kickoff recoveries that we got that really flipped the field against what otherwise was a really close game that was like back and forth, but our special teams really kind of dominated. And then the next week in the regional finals against Clarkston, it looked like we had a special teams mishap on kickoff, but we went down and blocked their last second field goal attempt. So, like, it can really, really matter.
And it's a great way, too, for these younger players on the team to show what they're made of and make some plays and be impressive. That's what happened in that past game last week, a muffed punt return that ended up setting you up in really opportune field position. The bad snap on the punt that led to Jamal getting into the end zone. You see the effect that special teams has. It gets discounted, but there's a reason they say football has 3 phases. That's certainly it. End of this ball game, it's 44-0. It's against a tough opponent that's kind of on the younger side and redeveloping. Now you refocus going forward. Coming out of this game, what do you think your team learned that's going to help you propel into these next few weeks as you go in this week to Clarkston and then see Lake Orion and Oxford coming back to the Swamp?
Well, I guess that we can be pretty good when we play well and we play clean. And it probably won't have a game the next couple of weeks that looks like that. You never know. But we know that we can be pretty good. And we know from playing at Adams and losing to Adams that we can go toe-to-toe with really good teams. It's just about getting over that hump, and that's really our focus the next 3 weeks.
We talked a lot about defense already today. We'll continue to talk about defense coming up after this break. Then later on, stick with us. Big game coming up this week. We go from our homecoming victory at home, 44-0 over Southfield A&T, to being the opponent on the road, hoping to spoil Clarkston's homecoming Friday night, 7 o'clock. Stay tuned for more information on our coverage later on in the program and, of course, on CivicCenterTV.com. We'll take a quick break and come back with more on This Week in Laker football. 3 split out to the strong side left for Southfield A&T. Porter outside the pocket. Getting chased, getting slammed. Oh, baby. Jeremiah Benson with sack number 5.
Oh, my.
Live, local, social. Dive into your community with the Splash Live. Coverage of events and exciting developments in the greater West Bloomfield area. Join Tyler Keefe, Kevin McIntosh, and the rest of our staff live out on the street or in our studio. Weekdays live on Comcast Channel 15 or on AT&T at Channel 99. Watch us online too on Facebook at Civic Center TV 15, on YouTube at Civic Center TV, or on our website, CivicCenterTV.com.
We've got news. Civic Center TV just reached 1 million views on YouTube. Over the years, we've filed over 10,000 stories. We've covered local parades and events, life-saving efforts by first responders, remarkable accomplishments of local individuals, state championship athletic teams, and our area's history, government, and the people who volunteer to make our community better. Civic Center TV on cable, online, and on social media, now with over 1 million views on YouTube. Civic Center TV, thanks for watching. You're 1 in a million.
Welcome back to This Week in Laker Football, your exclusive weekly look into the varsity football team at West Bloomfield High School on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm Tyler Keefe. Joining me in this segment is the Lakers defensive coordinator, Coach Ron Jones, with us on the program. And impressive first few weeks for your Laker defense, 2 shutouts at home and a couple of low-scoring games in between that for teams that tend to put a lot of points on the board. Give us your review of these first 4 weeks from your defense and your positives and negatives from them so far.
Well, we've been really playing some lights-out football here these last couple of weeks. Barring the game against Groves, where we kind of gave up a little more than we wanted to, we missed a lot of tackles. So we basically been getting back to the fundamentals, like, tackling. But I do think that we came into these first 4 games prepared. We watched a lot of film, prepared really well for the opponent, and it kind of showed on the field. So things that we can try to do better, obviously tackling, let them hands to the ball at all times, making sure we understanding our assignments and things of that nature. So I'm feeling really confident going into this week's game against Clarkston, which we haven't won there in a long time. It's what I keep hearing. So hopefully we can change that this week. That's the mindset this week.
Yeah, a little something to sweeten the deal with these young players to say, look, you can make some West Bloomfield history here, break the streak a little bit, go into Clarkston and pick up a really big win. And that's kind of the interesting thing with this defense is they've shown out these first 4 weeks, but that's really the younger side of this team coming into 2024. How impressed have you been with those underclassmen and those upperclassmen that have stepped into some pretty big roles this year?
Well, the upperclassmen have been, tutoring the younger guys really well. So they're giving them a really good somebody to look up to out on the field, being, leaders in the classroom and the way they approach the day, right? So everybody's kind of looking at the upperclassmen to kind of lead the way. But I've been having a lot of my younger guys actually step up and make plays and get more into the film and more into the preparation, because that's how, when you prepare for the game is easy, right? The more you know, the more film you watch, the easier your job is on Friday night. So I think we've been doing collectively as a unit a really good job of preparing and watching film and just understanding everything that the team likes to do to try to combat that on the field. So through these first 4 weeks, I think we're doing pretty decent, but I know we can get a lot better. We still haven't played our best football yet.
We got a dynamic duo a year ago like Jonathan Gabriel and Brandon Davis swaying on the edges. That's a tough act to follow, but a dynamic duo that's been developing this season, Josh Bryant and Jeremiah Benson, who both lead this team in sacks, picked up an assisted sack with each other last week as well as one individually for Jeremiah. How crucial have they been to that front four in 2024, building that into that next generation of a really stout line?
Yeah, well, those guys work really, really, really hard this offseason in the weight room. I was here with Coach Eddie Wilson, who's the D-line coach and also the strength and conditioning coach. So we really put a point of emphasis in getting a lot stronger, and it's kind of showing on the football field when we do our job. Like when we keep our pad level low, then we're really driving guys out of there. But those guys are working extremely hard and giving us a great look up front for the unit, right? So, I think we can get better. This will be a tough task for us this week, but it's not a task that I don't think we're up to. I think we go out there and, and show them what we got out there in Clarkston.
And taking that mindset of having tough days in the gym, tough days on the football field, and that begins from the first practice to the present. How does that help you set up what you need to go into Clarkston this week, and especially throughout the rest of this OAA Red Division season, to make that strong push forward as we hit the midseason point?
Well, Coach, this right here is a really big test for us, and I think we're up to the task. We'll get the intensity up real high this week. Super aggressive, flying around, assignment football, tackling well, and I think once we do that, the mindset will be what it's been the first 4 weeks, right? So what we really want to do is we really want to go over there and set the tone as far as how we want the game to be played, right? We want a lot of 3 and outs. We want to force some turnovers, which we've been doing a pretty good job of these first 4 games. I believe we got 3 turnovers with 3 touchdowns. We got 21 points, I think, we scored through the first 4 games on defense. 1 block punt and a punt return for a touchdown last week against Southfield. But if we can keep that momentum up, we're also giving the offense more chances for them to score, which is playing some team ball, right? So anything we do is trying to complement the offense and try to give them a more of a chance to put that ball in the end zone, right? So, my unit, man, they playing some really good ball. The coaching staff, though, Coach Keith Cameron with the preparation, the hours of film, and just making sure everything is where it needs to be. Coach Eddie Wilson, defensive line coach, myself coaching the linebackers, and Coach Zach Hilbers, overseeing the overall thing. I think we've been doing a really, really good job of making sure the guys are prepared for the task that's in front of them on Friday night. So.
And being coachable from the player perspective, that's got to play a factor in that too. A younger team, it seems like they really are listening to those lessons that very experienced coaches are giving to them this season.
Yeah, they're pretty locked in. And, like we told them, man, the more you understand your job, the easier the game is on Friday night. So, understanding how a guy wants to attack you from the offensive side of the ball gives you an advantage defensively, being in the right place at the right time, understanding your assignment, and just going out there and just focusing on your job, So I think we go into Clarkston. I think we set the tone early. I'm looking to get an early turnover to kind of set the tone, take the crowd out of it a little bit, because they got a really good fan base over there. So we know what we got up against us, but we're not going to flinch. We're not going to flinch at all.
Take the hype in that homecoming crowd at Clarkston, use that as fuel. That's what we're going to be seeing from this Laker defense coming up in week number 5. Coach Ron, thanks for your time.
Well, no problem. Thank you.
We'll take a break on This Week in Laker Football. On the other side, Coach Hilbers will rejoin me over here. We'll preview that big game coming up on the road in Clarkston. Stay tuned for more on our coverage on civiccentertv.com/Lakersports. This Week in Laker Football. We'll be right back. Out of the shotgun, Bowens looking to the sideline, picked off, going the other way. Here come the Lakers. And he's going to waltz right on into the end zone. A touchdown for Chops Pittman. Pick 6, number 2 on the season.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier on that tip pass how if he was able to come down with it, he might have been gone for 6. Right here, he jumps another route towards that boundary, takes it back for 6. I mean, just a phenomenal job in pass coverage so far this year by Chops Pittman. He has been a very versatile piece for this defense, in both his ability as a pass rusher, but also his athleticism as a pass coverage.
Hello, my name is Danya Bazzi. I'm the superintendent of West Bloomfield School District. I want to congratulate Civic Center TV on hitting the amazing milestone of 1 million viewers. Your involvement in our community doesn't go unnoticed. We thank you for keeping our residents and community engaged in the latest and greatest news and information. I'm Danya Bazzi, and I'm proud to be 1 in a million.
Watch West Bloomfield Lakers football all season long on 89.3 Lakes FM and Civic Center TV. Join Tyler Keefe and Matt Catoni each week for live, in-depth, and exclusive coverage before, during, and after the big game. It's your local high school football team on the road and in your backyard on your home for West Bloomfield Laker football, Civic Center TV, and 89.3 Lakes FM.
Welcome back to This Week in Laker Football, your exclusive weekly look into the West Bloomfield Lakers varsity football team all throughout their 2024 campaign. I'm Tyler Keefe, alongside Zach Hilbers on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. So now you go back out on the road. Similar story throughout the season. Really tough environment as you go in to Clarkston this Friday, and it's homecoming night out there, and that's a heck of a team that Coach Pintar has over there.
Yeah, I mean, they've been really good for a really long time, and I don't know whether it's homecoming or not for them. They have a great crowd, great atmosphere, great environment, so it's going to be tough no matter what. So the fact that it's homecoming for them, maybe it's even tougher, who knows, but I already think it's hard going there to play anyway.
It's tough to play Clarkston at home. It's tough to play Clarkston on the road. That team just seems to be really a tried and true program in high school football, and that you've got a long history as an assistant coach with West Bloomfield, now as head coach, similarly for Coach Justin Pinter over there with Clarkston, and really we've seen that identity build over the years, even last year's contest with them, and they're coming back with 24 returning players in that starting lineup. How tough of a matchup do you foresee this being for your Lakers?
Really tough, like really difficult. Like they have a ton of really good football players that they throw out there, both sides of the ball, like the Bowman twins that play running back and safety and linebacker. They got a kid that plays receiver and safety that's pretty good. Quarterback looks awesome, sophomore, young kid, but he's playing with a ton of confidence, like he's been there forever. And like you look at their team last year, they had a bunch of stars, and they were really good at getting them the ball, and they were obviously a very good team. And right now, like those stars have graduated, they're playing in college, but these kids they have now just makes the same type of plays, and they might not be the names the other guys were, but the production's right there.
Yeah, I think about last year's game, the dynamic duo between Brady Collins and Desmond Stevens. Neither of them at Clarkston now. Desmond Stevens at USC, and Brady Collins having transferred to U of D. But Alex Wazenko and Brady Beck have become quite a dynamic duo on the offensive side. Going to create quite a challenge for your defense this week.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, Beck's the kid I was talking about that plays receiver and safety, number 22, and he runs jets for him. He catches passes, makes tackles on the kickoff team and on defense. Like he's a really good player.
And they're a versatile team, too. Like you said, a lot of those guys are bouncing over from offense and defense in key positions, playing the full 48 minutes and making a lot of plays. How does that then translate back to the performance your team just had, that laser focus on the sideline, that execution for the full 48 minutes? How important is that going to be to repeat on the road in Clarkston this week?
Well, it's important whether those guys are playing both sides of the ball or not, I guess, because they're a really good team. And I told them, like, I don't know how the game's going to go. Could be low scoring, could be a shootout. But I can almost guarantee you it's going to be a battle in the second half. And it's our job to make sure we stand up and make those plays when we need to win the game.
In terms of limiting those playmakers, it's something you talked about. They got guys like Beck and Wazenko who are playing lights out all throughout the season, but you got some playmakers too. So how do you match up with what they've got on your side with some of your more talented players that are in those matchup positions? What are you saying to them as they go through this week and prep for arguably their toughest individual matchups of the season?
Yeah, so some of our older guys have played them a few times, and they know that we can have success against them, and they know that we can lose to them too. So they've seen both sides of it, and hopefully that helps you understand what it takes to be on the right side of that. Clarkston doesn't usually make a ton of mistakes, so if you make mistakes, they're going to beat you. And if you both don't make mistakes, then it's going to be a really close, hard-fought battle, like you saw them with Belleville in Week 1, who's obviously a very good team. So, I mean, the experience definitely helps in some of those key spots, but when it comes down to it, we got high school kids, they got high school kids, we got to be the better team on Friday.
Yeah, it comes down to that preparation. It's the reason these teams practice so hard all throughout the week, spend so much time in the film room. Games like this, you really need that. With the Lakers going into Clarkston Friday night, 7 o'clock. We'll do our best to have our live coverage for you right here on Civic Center TV, definitely on the radio as well on 89.3 Lakes FM. You talk about that schedule they've had. They kicked off the season against Belleville, just a 7-point loss. And then last week they go into Rochester Adams again, and much like your team there, close game throughout, and Rochester Adams just edged them out at the end of that ball game, ended up being a 10-28 game. And what does that say about the competition that you're going up against over these next few weeks, that you can have these battle-tested teams that are veteran teams going up against yours in a very similar situation?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that our entire division's like that without, looking ahead to Lake Orion and Oxford. You can be in battles with those guys too. Clarkston certainly was 2 weeks ago. And you can definitely win every game, but you can also lose every game too if you don't, do what you're supposed to. I think Clarkston's a really good team. They're 2-2. I think we're a pretty good team. We're 2-2. And the reality is that one of us is going to be 2-3 next week. We really don't want that to be us. So you got to understand the situation. As dire as we might think things are for us, and needing to win, they're in the exact same situation. They're a really good football team that wants to be 3-2 and not 2-3.
And you're not trying to collect feathers in your cap for the rest of the season or to check boxes throughout the year. But you look at this lineup right now. Lake Orion taking a loss last week. Clarkston taking a loss already this season. Oxford, of course, losing last week to Clarkston. And now Rochester Adams, that last team really looking to pick up something in the L column. This week could have some big implications on the fallout of the ultimate result of the OAA and also playoff implications. Does that play into at all the importance of this week coming out with a victory?
Yeah, for sure. We talk about our number one goal is to win the league. Right now, it's still alive, but we need some help. Someone else has to beat Adams because we didn't do that. But if we beat Clarkston, Lake Orion, and Oxford, we're at least in the discussion for it. And even if that goal isn't achieved like it wasn't a year ago for us, our next goal is to host a playoff game. So we need to win games and to be able to be eligible for that as well. Neither one of them are going to be easy, but at least it should keep us focused, because all the stuff we talked about in August and stuff is still in front of us, and we still control a lot of it.
Playing the league as tough as the OAA, and these teams pick up their hard-fought victories against tough programs. You build those playoff points up, you put yourself in a very opportune position each and every time you put one in the win column. Coach, thanks so much.
Yeah, you got it. Thank you.
We'll be back with you on Friday night for West Bloomfield versus Clarkston. Stay tuned for more information on our coverage on civiccentertv.com/Lakersports. For the entire program here at West Bloomfield High School and their athletic department, alongside head coach Zach Hilbers, I'm Tyler Kieft. Thanks for tuning in to This Week in Laker Football. From the home of the Clarkston Wolves come the West Bloomfield Lakers on homecoming in Clarkston. Both teams 2-2 and looking to get back in the driver's seat of the OAA Red. Hello and welcome to another entertaining night of West Bloomfield Laker football. I'm Tyler Keefe alongside Matt Catoni as West Bloomfield looks to end a drought that's been in the case for the last couple of years out at Clarkston High School, a place where they've not won in quite a while, but tonight have a really great chance on paper, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, really, and it's a game that could be a statement win for the Lakers as well. You saw it just moments ago. Coach Hilbers mentioned it. Both teams stand at 2-2, just trying to get right back into the thick of things for the OAA Red title. And if they're able to do or get the win today, they'll be that much closer to doing so. So it's going to be interesting today to see which team comes out, more physical and more detailed.
And that's going to be what it all comes down to, who plays the best technical football. These are two really well-coached teams, Matt, kind of with similar storylines from the head coaching position. Zach Hilbers, a longtime assistant coach that was waiting in the wings at West Bloomfield High School. And for the hometown Clarkston Wolves, Justin Pintar, over 10 years, actually 15 in fact, as the offensive line coach. And these are two programs that have really built their entire basis on discipline, on physical football, and on playing to the strengths of their playmakers.
Yeah, and one thing that could really stand out today, keeping that in mind, is the experience at the quarterback position for Clarkston that they have as opposed to the Lakers. That's something that may, in these tight games and division games, give them a slight edge just at that quarterback position.
And the quarterback position is going to be a key matchup tonight. Two quarterbacks coming in with a varying experience on paper. Bo Jackson, a senior, and has been a starter for a couple of years in the past in Novi Detroit Catholic Central. And then on the other side with Clarkston, Alex Wazenko, in his first season at the helm with Clarkston as a sophomore, has been electric so far and really been impressing people across the OAA and around the state of Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, we've really seen the Lakers struggle to get things going at the quarterback position so far. We've seen them lean on the run game so far, and Josh Tate has been tremendous thus far this season and really carrying the load on offense. And we've seen Jamal Shakespeare kind of come in at that wildcat role, and he's thrown a few passes, but we've seen him more so at that role that we've seen Samaj Morgan and other guys at in years past. So today it's going to be interesting to see, if we saw it last week pick up a little steam, if that passing game can take the next step forward.
Yeah, for the Lakers this season, Josh Tate nearing that 300-yard mark here in Week 5, averaging about 5.8 yards per carry. Shakespeare about 75 yards on 32 carries, about 2.4 yards per carry, but a couple of touchdowns also, and a guy that can still make plays with his arm. We saw that right here at this same location a year ago, where Jamal Shakespeare, for a key part of that final drive, was leading the Lakers into scoring territory with a chance to shock Clarkston with a massive comeback.
Yeah, last year we saw him not necessarily be featured as much as a runner when he would come into games, more so as the backup quarterback when we'd see an injury or, like you mentioned, the score got a bit out of hand, and we saw him almost lead a tremendous comeback last year as a passer. So it'd be interesting to see them if they feature that more down the line, knowing that he has that capability.
West Bloomfield Lakers and Clarkston Wolves scheduled to kick off at 7 o'clock live from Clarkston High School on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Tyler Keefe alongside Matt Catoni. Last week it was homecoming at West Bloomfield. Tonight it is homecoming at Clarkston High School. And these teams have a lot of similarities, but they also have a lot of history. Since 2013, Clarkston is 7-6 against West Bloomfield. But over the last class of individuals to come through both of these schools, 2020 through the present, West Bloomfield is 3-2 during that stretch against these Clarkston Wolves, including 2 wins, including a win last season in the playoffs when it counts the most. But Clarkston still has been one of those teams that's been able to keep it very close with some of the best competition in the entire state, Matt. That includes a really impressive loss for them in Week 1 at the Zenith Prep Kickoff Classic against Belleville.
Yeah, and you mentioned last week that this rivalry kind of based on the helmet matchup to an extent, is similar to Michigan and Michigan State. It's a tight rivalry. Both of these teams want to win their division. They know that, if they can handle each other, beat the opposing team, they're going to be right in the thick of things to win the OAA Red. And it's just going to be a good test here today for the Lakers to see if they can get right back into the race for the title.
Yeah, and it's going to be a really interesting matchup, too, because both of these teams are 2-2. Rochester Adams leading the OAA Red Division. This is kind of that battle for second place tonight, especially given the next few weeks that the Lakers have coming up. It's going to be a tough stretch of the season as we head into the middle point of the regular season. Clarkston this week on the road, never an easy matchup for West Bloomfield, no matter where they're at in any given season. Then next week, Lake Orion comes home to West Bloomfield. Oxford comes home to West Bloomfield the week after that, off to a great start in 2024 as well. And then the Lakers go back on the road to close out the season against Birmingham, Seaholm, and Roseville. So this is also kind of that big test for the Lakers. Now, we thought last week was going to be a little bit of a show-me week for the Lakers, and they showed out quite in style with a 44-0 victory over Southfield A&T. But what we saw that was excellent last week was a really good showing of efficiency from Bo Jackson.
Yeah, really, last week, we mentioned that the passing game really got things going. We saw a tremendous strike to Elijah Durham that he got on the run as well. And, hopefully they're able to build on what they had last week in the passing game. Again, we saw them open up with a few easy throws just to kind of get things moving, get that chemistry going. So it's going to be interesting to see how they come out on offense first. It was a little windy earlier, so it's going to be interesting to see if they lean on Josh Tate to start the game.
You brought up an interesting point of conversation earlier, kind of comparing this as the helmet matchup as you see the hometown Clarkston Wolves make their way out onto the field in their special gray alternate uniforms on homecoming night to a raucous crowd at Clarkston High School. A packed house tonight as they have a great tradition of football here at Clarkston. And that kind of takes it back to what you said a few minutes ago, this rivalry between West Bloomfield and Clarkston. There's kind of a bunch of these little rivalries in the OAA Red that you can compare to Michigan and Michigan State. That's often what you get here with Clarkston versus West Bloomfield. Anthony Termina earlier this week brought up a really interesting question to me. He said, one of the bigger questions here is, who's Clarkston's biggest rival? Is it West Bloomfield or is it Lake Orion? Then you kind of have that similar question with Lake Orion. Is Clarkston their biggest rival? Is Oxford their biggest rival? But when you look at this game, I see it as being those two perennial powerhouses between Clarkston and West Bloomfield that no matter what other teams in the OAA Red Division are contending, these teams are always going to be in the mix.
Yeah, I mean, really the consistency, as you mentioned, is the biggest factor. And that's obviously the best part of any rivalry is consistency, the back and forth, and not just amongst themselves, but really both teams being able to compete at a state level and compete for state titles.
The Wolves so far this season, as we said, kicked off the season at Wayne State University in the Zenith Prep Kickoff Classic, a close game against Belleville, ultimately lost 28-35, but an excellent defensive showing from that front seven, and then Alex Wajenko had a really great game out of the gates, 8 for 14 for 243 yards passing and a touchdown. Really impressive showing against one of the best teams in the state, a team that's won championships in 2 out of the last 4 seasons. And then in week 2, they blew out Southfield A&T on the road in Southfield 48-0. Went back home and beat Oxford 23-15 2 weeks ago. But then last week, very similar story for Clarkston as we had for West Bloomfield. A loss to Rochester Adams. That a little bit more lopsided in favor of Adams, 10-28. Maybe says more about Rochester Adams, though, than it does about this Clarkston team, as you can put whatever you want out there against that Rochester Adams team. Both of these teams know they're going to probably see them again sometime around the playoffs if they want to compete for a D1 championship. That makes tonight all the more important.
Yeah, we saw Coach Hilbers mention that to you earlier, just saying that, week in and week out, it's going to be a close game if you're at the top of the OAA Red. And he mentioned exactly the same thing that happened to Clarkston last week against Rochester Adams. The game can kind of get away from you 1 or 2 possessions, that they can just kind of squeeze you out of the game, their style of play.
You see the marching band for Clarkston High School out on the field. Their drum major atop their platform as we approach that national anthem time here at Clarkston High School and get closer and closer to the kickoff of one of the most highly anticipated football games in the entire state of Michigan this week. And look, we want to oversell it because it's entertainment. We want you to stay tuned and be interested in this, but it's not really hyperbole. You look at this matchup and it can be incredibly decisive for the Oakland Activities Association in the Red Division, one of the most powerful divisions in all of high school football. This game's going to have so many implications for both of these teams, as Coach Hilber's told me this week on This Week in Laker Football. One of these teams is leaving tonight 2-3, the other 3-2, and much like the last couple weeks for the Lakers, last few weeks, it's going to come down to who wants it more.
Yeah, and games like he mentioned as well, games like this week can be the difference in hosting a playoff game and going on the road for your first playoff game. If they're able to pick up a win tonight and kind of gain some momentum, they can maybe finish 6-3 and possibly host a playoff game.
Wolves on the field, but now here come their wily opponents, the 2-2 West Bloomfield Lakers, coming off their second shutout of the season. Both times at home, the Lakers haven't allowed a single point this season, 44-0 showing last week. And not only did they have a great game on the offensive and defensive side, what we saw really impress for the Lakers was their tenacity in the special teams.
Yeah, I mean, really all three phases.
We'll take a listen in as the Clarkston Marching Band plays the Star Spangled Banner. The national anthem of the United States of America, the Star Spangled Banner, as we celebrate one of the great traditions in all of the United States, Friday night football at your local high schools. We take our first look up close at the West Bloomfield Lakers. Matt, what are you looking to see from this team tonight as they have arguably their toughest matchup of the year on paper coming in tonight against Clarkston, a team that matches up really well with this Lakers team?
I mean, I'm already kind of seeing it to an extent so far, just disciplined and detailed. So when they walked onto the field, I didn't really see, much jumping, sprinting, really hooting, hollering, or anything. They looked very focused and detailed. And if that's how they play today, it's going to be a very interesting game and it's hopefully very fun to watch.
Lakers with Justin Ward coming out on the field. We did not see the coin toss earlier on. It was before our broadcast got underway tonight. Lakers will kick it off to the Clarkston Wolves. Now, before we get back going, I want to give you a little bit of information tonight. Special broadcast here. It's radio on TV. You're not going to see the scoreboard, but look, in play-by-play school, they told me down and distance and score really important, as well as the timing in the quarter, each and every single play as you can make it happen. So I will keep you updated all throughout the broadcast on the score, the down, the distance, as best as possible as you are just tuning in, or if you come in and out with us on your busy Friday night from Clarkston High School. Justin Ward in the middle hash at the 40-yard line, ready to kick this ball off, and some pretty tough opponents on the other side on the receiving end. The senior Brady Beck, who averaged 25 yards per return in 2023, and then the other kick returner out there, Mick Mahaffey, a sophomore, a backup quarterback, had a couple of nice returns all throughout the season already in 2024. Here we are from Ward, the booming kick back toward the end zone, and it will be a touchback. And now, for the first time tonight, we'll see this Clarkston Wolves offense, a team that so far this season putting up about 27 points per game, kind of on par the last few years, and inching closer to the heyday of 2021 and 2022, where they were averaging close to 40 points a night.
Yeah, but we saw them struggle last week against Rochester Adams. Granted, that's not saying much. A lot of teams will struggle against them. So it's going to be interesting to see if the Lakers were able to see anything on film, if they'll be able to replicate that here today.
Their offense led by the sophomore quarterback, Alex Wozhenko. His first season at the helm, expected to be on JV this year, and with the transfer of Brady Collins, he is the guy in Clarkston. Shotgun snap, he's getting chased. Collins throws it out to the sideline, and it's a leaping grab by Brady Beck at the 31. Going to be seeing a lot of that dynamic duo tonight, Matt.
I mean, wow. I mean, just a phenomenal throw. He got hammered as he let go of that ball. And I wasn't sure if that was going to the receiver underneath, but it ends up in 22's hands, and just a phenomenal throw and catch right there, and they're able to move the sticks on first down.
One of the most veteran players in the state of Michigan, a 3-year varsity starter in the Clarkston 22. First down for the Wolves at their 30-yard line. Wozhenko out of the shotgun, handoff right up the middle, met by the Lakers at the point of attack. He's not going anywhere. The first run of the night going backwards for Clarkston.
Yeah, we saw it last week against Southfield A&T. This Lakers interior defensive line did not give up anything in the run game, and it's going to be interesting to see how they look going forward and if they continue to stifle opposing run offenses.
Just minutes into the first period, it's a 0-0 ball game, 2nd and 10 as Clarkston's first run gets back to the line of scrimmage. One man in the backfield alongside the quarterback, Wozhenko. 2 split out to either side. Shotgun snap, Wozhenko out to the left side. Getting chased, escapes a tackle up to the 35, and he finally goes down as Vegas Shea and Kylo Dickerson get in on that.
I mean, the whole thing that made that play possible, even though they didn't gain all too many yards, just a few yards to keep things moving, but a huge block in the backfield right there. I didn't see who was lined up at running back right there. But on that designed rollout right there, I mean, he just hammered the defensive end.
We'll hear a lot more about these running backs this evening. The Bowman brothers and Griffin and Lucas, who had an excellent game here in Clarkston a year ago in the regular season. Snap from the 35-yard line. Outside play going to Griffin Bowman. Not going to get much, going to lose a yard. And now their punt team's going to come out for the Wolves.
Yeah, a very good job by the Lakers defense right there. We see Clarkston try and stretch that run outside right there, try and move the sticks by running it to the outside, but the Lakers defense doesn't bite. They contain it. They even bring them down in the backfield.
This is the Clarkston team that runs the football really well, averages over 200 yards a game so far in 2024, and that's going up against tough competition. Belleville, Oxford, Adams, teams that are really stout in defending the run. Clarkston will punt this ball away to West Bloomfield. The punt from the 20-yard line down to the opposite side, gonna land right around the 40-yard line and take a Clarkston roll down to about the 33, and that's where we'll see this West Bloomfield offense for the first time this evening in this 0-0 ball game early on in the first quarter. They'll mark that at the 32.
Yeah, a good job of just flipping field position right there for Clarkston. Not just that ball was in the air forever, it felt like. And now it's going to be huge for the Lakers offense right here to pick up 1 or 2 first downs and really at least play the field position game on this opening drive.
We saw some balance for the Lakers last week against Southfield A&T. Can we see similar balance tonight? The Lakers averaging about 2/3 of the time they're going to run on first down, likely what we're going to see here. Tate out of the Wildcat, gets the ball, goes outside, rolls up to the 39, and then goes down. He'll get about 8 yards on first down, and Josh Tate already off to a good start.
Yeah, we've seen them mix in him and Shakespeare at that kind of Wildcat quarterback role or direct snap role. And, I mean, really, as he's emerged as a consistent runner this year, we've seen them kind of lean more on Tate in that role, and he gives them, more pay right there with that first down carry.
It'll be 2nd down and 2 for West Bloomfield, actually 2nd and 3, as Tate is 1 yard away from 300 on the season. He'll get it here, handoff up the middle, up to the 45, barreling forward to the 49. A strong run for a strong young man and a first down for West Bloomfield.
Yeah, you could kind of see him starting to lean forward a little bit before that snap, kind of hinting that he was going to get that carry. Maybe hearing you mention that he was so close to 300 yards on the season, he picks it up. But what stood out to me was him kind of pushing and directing his offensive lineman just to help him pick up a few more yards.
They'll make it first down in this 0-0 ball game for the Lakers at their 49-yard line. One man in motion is James. Handoff up the middle. Tate up to the 44.5-yard line. Slides forward to the 45, and a nice gainer on first down for West Bloomfield.
Yeah, I mean, if the Lakers are able to do this all night, I expect to see a steady dosage of Tate. So far, just picking up 5-6 yards a carry and off to a phenomenal start.
Second down for West Bloomfield. Yet to throw the ball tonight. 3 runs to Josh Tate. Hey, look, if it's working, you keep going to that until Clarkston can find a way to stop number 3. Shakespeare out of the gun. It'll be a jet sweep to Devin James. Outside of the 45-yard line, going backwards. And it'll be taken out the 47-yard line. Tyson Scott in on that tackle for Clarkston.
Yeah, after that, his touchdown in the home opener, we've seen them, kind of work some more touches in for James, and he's had done a tremendous job so far this season in his role, but unable to move the ball forward right there. Now the Lakers are set up with about a 3rd and medium.
That's a guy who's averaging about 20 yards a carry on the season. Only had the ball 3 times, including a 38-yard touchdown last week against Southfield A&T. 3rd down for the Lakers. Got about 6 yards to go. 0-0 ball game. Shotgun snap to Shakespeare. He'll roll out to his right side. Throws it from the 50-yard line. Caught at the 31. First down and more. That goes to Jaden Allos, and they'll move the chains, inching toward the red zone.
Yeah, always finding a way to impact the game on no matter what side of the ball it really is for Allos. Special teams, offense, defense. He really establishes his presence in all phases of the game, and right there, phenomenal comeback route to move the chains.
One of the most underrated players in the entire state of Michigan. He showed what he was made of last year in the playoffs defensively. And man, when you get number 7 the ball, he's gonna make a play. 1st and 10 for West Bloomfield at the Clarkston 30. Shakespeare outside, throws it in the direction of Cam Flowers and bounces off his hands, incomplete. A rare throw for Jamal Shakespeare.
Yeah, it kind of just looked like they were out of sync right there on that target, unable to bring it in, but what stood out to me on that play was Allos in at tight end that play, again, just moving all over the field. We see he kind of had a chip block on that play that ensured that it wasn't a sack. Now he's off on the sideline, so it's going to be interesting to see what the Lakers do here.
0-0 ball game at Clarkston High School. 2nd down and 10 for West Bloomfield at the Clarkston 30 on the right hash, moving from the right side of the field to the left. Shotgun snap to Shakespeare, handoff right up the gut, breaking free, getting to the line of scrimmage, getting to the line to gain, and more for West Bloomfield, and a first down on its way for Malcolm Gibson.
Yeah, I mean, really, we saw Gibson last week later in the game start to get some carries, and he really flashed, and we kind of asked ourselves that question. Are we going to start to see more Gibson later on in the season? So far, they're answering that question early on for us.
It'll be 3rd down for West Bloomfield, a short gainer for Gibson, who last week had 4 carries for 19 yards. Approaching the red zone at the Clarkston, in the red zone now. The Clarkston 23, handoff to Tate out of the Wildcat. He'll get up to the 20-yard line and set up a 4th and short. And here we'll likely see the Lakers bring on Justin Ward, but right now it's looking like the offense is going to stay out there. Short yardage to get that first down. Josh Tate going to remain in the Wildcat. Kind of been that bread and butter play. The Lakers just got to get another yard or so. And they actually did. They got the first down there. So Tate will take the snap out of the Wildcat and get a short gainer up to about the 16-yard line.
Yeah, after they moved that ball back, I wasn't sure if they had it either, and it looked like the Lakers were going to be safe either way and kept Josh Tate out there. And really, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Josh Tate picks up another 3 or 4 yards right there to keep the ball moving.
Lakers have been excellent in the red zone this season. They've scored on 72% of their drives that have gotten inside the 25. And have scored a touchdown 63% of the time in this range. The 2nd down snap to Shakespeare out of the gun. Rolls left, down to the 15-yard line, shifts in at the 10. And he's going to get hit hard, but go down at the 8-yard line and moves forward for the Lakers.
Yeah, 2nd time they've had Shakespeare roll out. Kind of looked like a similar play design to where we saw Allos catch that comeback earlier. This time they kind of sat back on that comeback route, so Shakespeare decided to take the yards that were available.
Line to gain for the Lakers is at the 6-yard line. Dave Scott and Dominic Catoni, our camera operators tonight on site. Radio on television, it's a 0-0 ball game. We're not going to have a scoreboard for you, but I'll keep you updated on that throughout the game here in the first quarter. Shakespeare out of the shotgun, hand off the tape. We get inside the B gap and down to the 6-yard line. That should be enough for West Bloomfield to get a 1st and goal.
Yeah, really the first time that they've been able to stop Josh Tate tonight. You know, most of his carries going for 4 yards at the least. This time they really didn't make it that far past the line of scrimmage.
Not the most friendly placement. It's 2nd down now for the Lakers. They did not get that to the line to gain. The football will be at the 8-yard line of Clarkston. West Bloomfield knocking on the door of pay dirt. 0-0 ball game in the first. Snap to Shakespeare. He's going to roll outside. He's getting chased. 3 men on him. Tosses in the end zone. Caught by Cam Flowers, but his foot is on the sideline. No good.
And I mean, that was a beauty of a pass right there by Shakespeare, just unable to dial it in. Looked like he just maybe stepped out a fraction of a second early, and unfortunately the Lakers may be looking at a field goal here.
It'll be 3rd and goal now for the Lakers, or 3rd down for the Lakers.
He's got it. He's got it.
It's going to remain at the 8-yard line. It was that close. They kind of just flipped that ball, kind of just flicked it to Cam Flowers. A good catch, but just not the most opportune landing spot. Didn't get the footing there. The West Bloomfield get another try. Shakespeare will stay in for the quarterback. We have not seen Bo Jackson yet. With Tate in the backfield, Shakespeare looking to the corner of the end zone and way over the head of Elijah Durham, incomplete. Now we'll have 4th down inside the 10-yard line. The kicking team coming on where Justin Ward has been fantastic this season. 1 for 1 on field goals, but 14 for 15 on extra points.
Yeah, again, I've heard you call him Mr. Consistency, really, and he's been exactly that, consistent. That one missed extra point was not even his fault, really. It was a high snap, kind of slowed down the process, and the kick was blocked. And now it's going to be a huge field goal right here to get the Lakers off to an early lead, hopefully.
His brother Jake, also a former kicker at West Bloomfield High School and a soccer star. And Justin, man, I mean, he had a tough act to follow there and has come in and been excellent for the Lakers these last 2 seasons. This will be a 25-yard field goal from the right hash of the 15. High snap, it is up, and it splits the uprights. Lakers 3, Clarkston 0 early in this ball game in the first quarter.
Yeah, and really huge to get points right there. Disappointing to not get the 6 that you wanted, but starting off with the lead is huge on especially your opponent's homecoming night, and now it's going to be huge for the defense to come out here and really, limit this opposing offense and really shut them down on their first scripted drive of the game.
Yeah, this defense made quick work of the Clarkston offense, and then the offense for the Lakers came out and had a nice sustained drive. They ran that football really well, got past the 50-yard line, and then slowly as they approached the red zone, they got closer to pay dirt, started to incorporate the passing game and do so with Jamal Shakespeare also. So a little bit of a new wrinkle for the Lakers so far tonight. They don't get the 6 points they wanted. They come out with 3 and the lead. You'll take every point you can get in this environment at Clarkston High School. So with that, still in the first period here at Clarkston High School on their homecoming night, West Bloomfield 3, Clarkston Wolves 0. Our on-site team, Dave Scott, Dom Catoni, 3:48 to go in the first period. It's going to be a short kick from Ward, lands at the 8-yard line, recovered, returned to the 25, to the 30, and then finally met by that Lakers special teams front as Brady Beck has a nice return, about 25 yards.
Yeah, a rare returnable kick by Ward right there. And it's still really all, not that much available to him because of this phenomenal special teams unit for the Lakers. They're able to bring him down roughly where he would have been with the touchback.
We talk about Jaden Allos being kind of that versatile, underrated player for West Bloomfield. It's very similar for Brady Beck. Plays in all 3 phases, executes really well for this team. 25-yard kick return, right about average for him a year ago. 1st and 10 for the Wolves at their 30-yard line. Shotgun snap to Washenko. Double reverse, fumbled in the backfield, and he's hit hard. Going down at the 20-yard line.
And I mean, that was risky right there. He should have just fallen on that, if you're asking me. Everything I've seen, when you're bending down and you bobble it, especially that first time, you just fall on it. He was playing with fire right there. Fortunately for Clarkston's sake, he's able to pick it up, but the Lakers were that much closer to picking that up just because of that.
Second level defense for the Lakers, keeping focused, keeping with their guy on that man defense as they took down Colton Williams after he fumbled that reverse. Second and long now for Clarkston at their 25. They lose 5 on first down. Washenko gonna run himself on the quarterback draw, gets up to the 30, pushes forward to the 35. Gets his shoulder down and gets to the 37. He'll get a first down. Actually, they'll mark him up at the 40.
I mean, I was just thinking about how huge it was that the Lakers were able to stop him behind the line of scrimmage, get him for such a loss on a scripted trick play like that. And Washenko right there just comes and, I mean, are they going to give him the spot for the first down? But a huge carry to just pick up all that missed or lost yardage and then some.
A little extra reach after he got on the ground. High-level thinking for the quarterback. They'll mark him at the 38, third down and short. Washenko, the handoff, right at the gut. Lucas Bowman gonna get met at the line of scrimmage. Laker defense standing strong, and they're gonna force another fourth down.
Yeah, and I mean a huge stop, not giving up anything in the run game, really, again. This interior defensive line stepping up. I mean, like we said, that Rochester Adams game, is that going to be a game where they kind of, they got punched in the mouth and they're going to wake up going forward and step up and not allow a moment like that to happen again? And so far, these past 2 weeks, it's looking like that's the case.
Punt team will come out again for Clarkston. Brady Beck, it looks like it's going to be the guy to punt this ball off from the 25-yard line after a 3-and-out against the Lakers. He's going to run it outside. He's going to throw it. It's going to get caught and be a first down. Trickery from the Clarkston Wolves. Brody Rudder, the senior, on the reception.
And I mean, that first play of this drive, we saw them. They looked like it was going to be either just a reverse or a reverse pass. And right there, we see them come out and just outright fake the punt. And Clarkston just coming out with intent after giving up that field goal.
1:15 to go in this first quarter, a 3-0 ball game in favor of the Lakers after a trick play. Brady Beck doesn't punt the football. That was your first clue. Even tricked us here in the booth. 1st and 10 for Clarkston. Approaching the 50-yard line at their 46. Quick throw over the middle, incomplete, as that ball was intended for Grayson Clark.
Yeah, it looked like Jaden Allos was in on the hit right there, ensuring that he didn't catch that. It was a high pass. I mean, a bit lower of a pass. It's probably complete. Because it's a high pass, it gave Allos that opportunity to just jam it loose with the hit.
A lot of pressure on Alex Washenko. He had to get that ball out. He had Grayson coming across on that short crossing route and got the football to him. Just a little bit too much zip on that ball, so it'll be 2nd down and 10. 3 split out to the strong side left for Clarkston. 3-0 ball game in favor of the Lakers. Washenko getting chased, quick throw up the middle, caught by Beck, breaking free at the 45, past the 50, he's on his horse. Going in the 20, going yard, and going home. Touchdown, Clarkston.
Yeah, I mean, they motioned out one of the Bowman brothers and faked the screen to Lucas, and then brought in back on his screen for himself, and he's able to just take it to the house. A well-designed play right there for Clarkston, and Beck just continues to flash in this game so far.
That is his 2nd receiving touchdown of this season. He's got 2 on the ground, now 2 in the air through these first 4 weeks. The only Wolf to get in the end zone last week against Rochester Adams. Starting off strong tonight against the Lakers. Under a minute to play in the first quarter, and it's now a 6-3 ball game in favor of Clarkston. As we see Aiden O'Neill, their kicker, come in for the PAT. Snap, kick, hold, and the points. It is a 7-3 ball game now in favor of Clarkston after a trick play, and they march up the field 2 plays later, getting that ball to one of their top-level players in Brady Beck.
Yeah, I mean, so far I'm it's impressive, honestly, how this Clarkston offense has came out and just trying to shake things up and really shown these trick plays are just well thought out and just intricate play designs. And that screen right there is a prime example. They faked him out with the screen to Lucas Bowman, but that had just another one right there waiting for him with Beck, and he's able to make the Lakers pay with 6.
Justin Pintar has been coaching at Clarkston for 18 years, 15 years as an assistant, mostly as their offensive line coach under the legendary Kurt Richardson. Also spent some time learning how to coach at the high school level or any level from the longtime athletic director, the late Dan Fife at Clarkston High School. Learned a lot of lessons about how to be a great coach and lead great young men. And it shows in this program in his 3rd season at the helm. He's got Clarkston back and playing great football once again. About 40 seconds left in the first quarter. 7-3 ball game in favor of Clarkston. Lakers will return from the goal line up to the 20-yard line to 25-30. Left side wide open. Cam Flowers, 45-50. Gaines gonna go all the way. Cam Flowers, touchdown, WB.
I mean, really, this Lakers special teams unit, again, just flashes week in and week out. You kind of see them serve as that spark for this team. A few weeks ago, we saw them nearly return back-to-back kickoffs against Rochester Adams. This week, we see them just give up that long screen. Special teams immediately answers with a 100-yard kickoff return right there, and just a huge, huge play right there for Flowers.
And that is, like you said, 100 yards. He got that at the goal line, received it with 1 foot in the end zone, and took it all the way right to left across your radio dial and across your screen, non-stop to the end zone.
I just missed it at the end.
A little bit of a high snap on the PAT, but recovered and through the uprights for Justin Ward, and just like that, the Lakers back on top, 10-7.
Yeah, and I mean, really, Flowers just showed you one thing right there that you can't do when it comes to him. You can't give him a lane. You can't give him just that one step, because he will burn you. He will make you pay with the speed that he has, and he showed that right there on that return, and just a huge play to get the Lakers the lead.
Man, am I fired up for that kid. He had an incredible season in 2023, over 1,000 all-purpose yards. And this season, look, he hasn't gotten all those touches he got a year ago for the West Bloomfield Lakers. Flowers in the receiving game, just 12 targets so far this season. On the rushing side, he's only gotten 5 carries, but there, he gets in the end zone in the special teams. You give a playmaker a chance to make a play, he's gonna do it, and that's exactly what 6 did. Getting 6 points for the Toledo commit and getting the Lakers back in the lead with 27 seconds to go in the first quarter at Clarkston High School. It is a 10-7 ball game in favor of West Bloomfield. Ward from the middle hash at the 40-yard line. Short kick. It's going to land at the 46-yard line, and Clarkston's up men going to recover that football as it gets into Cameron Love's hands.
Yeah, we almost saw the Lakers pull it off once again. They almost, just at the last second, it looked like Clarkston was able to sniff out that onside attempt. But these past few weeks, we've seen the Lakers, try and sneak in a few onside attempts, a few just, pooch kicks, if you would, and just kind of catch these special teams units off guard.
They did it last week. It worked out. They got a hit on Southfield A&T. The ball bobbled loose, and Elijah White came up with it. Not the case this week against Clarkston. Look, both these teams really well prepared for each other. They're going to bring whatever they got in the war chest to try to get that little bit of an advantage. Ward going back on the field with the rest of the kicking team. They're going to kick this again. They're going to set the Lakers back 5 yards. A penalty probably at that point beneficial for West Bloomfield, as Clarkston would have had incredible field position right around where they scored on that Brady Beck touchdown in their last series.
Yeah, I heard a fan calling for the Lakers to kick it normal, and I'd assume they would do so now, backed up at their 35 for this kick.
Well, let's see if the Lakers coaching staff pays attention to the proverbial comments section. Not the case. They're going to kick that ball up, and it's going to land at the 20 on the sideline. Recovered up to the 35-yard line, and then out of bounds. Clarkston's still going to have very good field position after that kick return.
Yeah, it looked like on that kick they were trying to keep it away from Beck. And, I mean, really after that last drive, I would definitely try and keep the ball away from him as much as possible.
10-yard kick return for Benny Adams. Got some speed on him. 66-yard reception against Belleville in week 1 down at Wayne State University. There's 23 seconds left in the first quarter. West Bloomfield up 10-7 on Clarkston. Will begin their drive at their 36-yard line. Twins to the right for the Wolves. Washenko with a man in motion. Shotgun snap, hands off to his right side. Up to the 35, pushing forward to the 40, and advances to the 43 after the hit. Taking the football is Colton Williams.
Yeah, good carry right there for Clarkston. You know, about 6 or 7 yards on that one, making it, you know, second and not too much right here for them. And they've been moving it efficiently right here, so they're in good position right now.
As we said before that play, not a lot of time left in the first period. The horn goes off after 1. It is 10-7 in favor of West Bloomfield. And look, we thought this was going to be a close game. We thought this was going to be a battle of wits and a battle of skill coming into the night. And those first 12 minutes showed we were right on that prediction.
Yeah, and really, again, these matchups too, we've said in the past, it comes down to all 3 phases of the game. And so far, the Lakers special teams unit, once again, stepping up with a touchdown to themselves to get them right back in the driver's seat in this game.
Civic Center TV is your home for West Bloomfield Laker football on TV, on the radio on 89.3 Lakes FM, and across social media. We are live on the Facebook page of the West Bloomfield School District, as well as on our Facebook page, where you can like us and follow along for free, and even more of this coverage all throughout the season at Civic Center TV 15. Follow us also on Instagram and subscribe for free on YouTube, where we're live every week with Laker football at Civic Center TV. Second period underway at Clarkston High School. 2nd and 3 for the Wolves. Down 10-7. Clarkston going to get whistled for the false start. Both teams jumped. West Bloomfield pointed to Clarkston, and the referees agree. It is a false start. That'll set them back. They'll stay second down, but instead of 2nd and 3, it'll be 2nd and 8.
Yeah, and I just got an update. It's 14-7. Lake Orion was the last update I saw in that game, leading over Rochester Adams. So the Lakers able to pull off a win today, right back in the thick of things.
Even bigger implications from that game tonight. 2nd down handoff, right up the gut, up to the 50. 1st down and more, as we finally see some big play action for Griffin Bowman.
Yeah, and I mean just a gashing run right there for Bowman. Just they lose 5 yards on that false start, and he picks up about 20 on that carry right there, and just a phenomenal run right there for him.
Bowman, an excellent runner for Clarkston. 627 rushing yards in 2023 and 870 all-purpose yards.
Yeah, that's another false start. Look at the guard.
That's exactly what is going to be called on 1st down. They're going to move back 5 yards, make it for 1st and 15 on a beautiful night for football at Clarkston High School. The camera work of Dave Scott and Dom Catoni showing us sunset over Clarkston on homecoming night early in the 2nd period, where Clarkston trails 10-7 against the West Bloomfield Lakers. 1st and long for Alex Washenko and company. 2 split out to the left. Snap and a handoff. It's going to be Bowman up the gut to the 45-yard line and down to the 44.
Yeah, Bowman is just exploding as soon as he gets that ball, and that's going to be on the Lakers at the end of that play right there.
Laundry comes out after the play. A little bit of extra action from the Lakers. That's going to benefit Clarkston, who started off at the 1st and 15 on their just before the Bowman drive, and there got about 6-7 yards. It is personal foul on the Lakers. That's going to give a big advantage to Clarkston, as they are now marching up into Laker territory for the first time tonight.
Yeah, I mean, really, we were going to be set up with about a 2nd and 7 right there, if not for that penalty. Now, like you said, they're right in scoring position after that penalty right inside the red zone.
Ball's going to be placed at the 29, 1st and 10 for Clarkston. 2 in the backfield for the Wolves. Wajenko handoff. Going to be an inside drive for Griffin Bowman. Pushes forward toward the 20-yard line. And he'll get right about there, down at the 21-yard line.
Yeah, we're starting to see more Griffin now as this game's going on, and he is exploding with almost every single carry, every single time he touches the ball. And so far, the Lakers are having a hard time bringing him down.
Jeremiah Benson on the tackle. It'll be 2nd down 3 for Clarkston. Down 10-7 in the 2nd period at Clarkston High School. 2 out to the short side left, and 1 wide to the right for Clarkston. Man in motion is Lucas Bowman in the backfield. His brother Griffin behind the quarterback Wajenko. Bowman up the middle, gets to the 30-yard line, pushes 20-yard line, and pushes forward to the 19 for a short gainer.
Yeah, like we were saying earlier, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Clarkston applying that with their approach now, just leaning on Griffin Bowman the way that he's running the football, and I don't really blame him for it.
About 9:50 to go in the half. It'll be 3rd and 1 for Clarkston. Just got to get the ball to the 19-yard line. The ball with the tip right on the 20 at the middle hash. Bunch formation. Wajenko, handoff right up the gut. It's going to be close. He's not going to get there. Lakers stop him. Jeremiah Benson pulls him down, and it's going to force a 4th.
I mean, just a huge stop right there for Benson, bringing him down, not just to get him in the back or just to hit him in the backfield, but wrapping him up with the way that Griffin Bowman has been able to extend plays after contact. And now a huge 4th and short right here where the Lakers can really shake things up in the game if they get a stop right here.
Clarkston is down 10-7. They're within field goal range for Aiden O'Neal, but only got a yard to go. That offense going to stay on the field. Handoff right at the middle. Bowman going to get the 1st down and more. Still on his feet, still pushing forward. Breaks free inside the 10, inside the 5, and down to the 4. Wow, what a run for Griffin Bowman. The freight train gets inside the 5.
I mean, eerily reminiscent almost of that Riggins run in the Super Bowl against the Dolphins for Washington. Just not able to get into the end zone, but so far tonight, Griffin Bowman is just flashing for this Clarkston offense and really someone that I expect them to just lean on the rest of this game.
Had a great game against the Lakers at home in 2023. Repeat performance so far. 1st and goal at the 5. Wajenko, quarterback run, shifts inside to the 3-yard line, gets a couple yards on 1st and goal as Clarkston's advancing toward the end zone.
Yeah, I believe that it was Caleb Parnell that got a hand on him, or was that Jeremiah Benson that got a hand on him right there. It looked like they were running, or he might have had an angle in there to get into the end zone, but he just got one hand on him and was able to bring him down. Touchdown saving play.
About 8 minutes and ticking to go in this first half. 2nd and goal for Clarkston. Out of the shotgun, Wajenko, handoff up the gut. Bowman in the end zone. Touchdown for Clarkston, and they will take back the lead.
And Tank Pittman saying something to the sideline after that play. It looked like there might have been a miscommunication in the play call or something, because there was just no contest right there from the Lakers on that run play up the middle.
Just open season, straight up the gut and into the end zone. And just like that is a 13-10 ball game in favor of Clarkston, as Aiden O'Neal will come out for his 2nd PAT of the evening. Ball is out, the kick is up, and it is straight through the uprights. 14-10 in favor of Clarkston, and Matt, an impressive offensive drive for the Wolves.
Yeah, I mean, really a physical one, especially led by Griffin Bowman. And just one of those drives that we were talking about that Clarkston was just itching to have and just hoping that they were going to be able to have here tonight. One where they just pounded the rock and just ran the ball at will.
14-10 now in favor of the Clarkston Wolves. early here in the second period at Clarkston High School on their homecoming night. We invite you to stay tuned on Civic Center TV all week long for everything else beyond football and including football going on in the greater West Bloomfield area on the Splash Live, Monday through Friday on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM, as well as across our social media and always on demand on CivicCenterTV.com. Our whole team, Jake Schaff, Kevin McIntosh, Thais Leverett, and myself, covering everything that's happening from events to special projects and interesting people across our 4 communities. Cam Flowers back to receive for West Bloomfield after that kick return for a touchdown last time around. Clarkston kicking off from the left hash on the 40-yard line. They're going to kick it back to him and over his head, about 5 yards in the end zone for a touchback with 7:56 to go in the half.
Yeah, you know, looking at that clock and thinking back to that Rochester Adams game and considering that you get ball at half, if you try and just eat away as much clock as you can right here and try and just not give Clarkston any opportunity to score before the half and go into the half leading and getting the ball.
Lakers have been running the ball very well so far tonight, as they have all throughout the season. Averaging about 23 rushes for first downs versus 13 for passes. They run the ball for about 128.5 yards per game in comparison to 117 in the air so far this season. They can pull a sustained drive together, put some points on the board, and put Clarkston in a pressure situation. 1st and 10 for the Lakers at their 20-yard line, 7:56 to go in the half. Shotgun snap to Bo Jackson. High pass to Elijah Durham up to the 30-yard line, caught. He will keep that football despite the pressure.
Yeah, I mean, a phenomenal throw and catch right there, especially on Elijah Durham's end right there to go up and get that pass, because there was not much room for him to come down with that ball.
He caught that in the air at the 30-yard line, which is the line to gain, but he lands at the 29, sets up a 2nd down and 1 for West Bloomfield at the 29 on the right hash. Jackson out of the shotgun, handoff. Josh Tate up the middle, 1st down and more to the 35 and up to the 37.
Yeah, I mean, similar to Clarkston's offense and how they were moving the ball with Griffin Bowman, it's just really simple what you do in these 2nd and 1s, 3rd and 1s. You hand the ball off to Josh Tate the way that he's running the football.
7:10 and ticking to go in the first half. West Bloomfield 10, Clarkston 14. It'll be a 1st down for the Lakers at the 37. Handoff to Josh Tate up the middle, going to get to the line of scrimmage and nothing else. A bunch of Wolves get in on that tackle, all spying number 3.
Yeah, I mean, really, it looked like the entire Clarkston defense just collapsed on that interior offensive line for the Lakers, just expecting that run on 1st down.
Set up a 2nd down for West Bloomfield. Nothing lost, nothing gained. 2nd and 10. They got to get up to the 47-yard line for a 1st down. Ball placed in the middle at the Laker 37-yard line. Twins out to the right for Bo Jackson out of the shotgun. Getting chased, runs outside, good block from Tate, throws to the sideline to Cam Flowers. It's not going to be complete, and it'll be a 3rd down.
Yeah, I don't know if I think he was unable to come down in bounds right there. But now the Lakers set up with a huge 3rd and 10 right here.
Either way, not going to really matter there. West Bloomfield 3rd down and 10. They've converted on 44% of their 3rd downs coming into this ball game tonight. 15 for 34 through the first 4 weeks. Jackson out of the shotgun, 2 in the backfield. He'll take the shotgun snap, getting his blocks, looking way up the field, going loud, going yard, and caught by Durham at the 20-yard line, and he skips on forward to the 16 for a big 1st down.
When in doubt, just look downfield for Elijah Durham, and really, if you're able to just give him a 50-50 chance on a ball, it's more so 70-30 instead of 60-40 even. He's just a phenomenal receiver, and he is going to excel at the next level.
Give him an inch and he takes a mile. Elijah Durham, his longest reception this season was that 80-yard touchdown a week ago against Southfield A&T, and he catches a bomb from Bo Jackson. Wildcat first down snap to Josh Tate. He'll advance forward to the 10-yard line, and he'll get 6. Penalty flag, though, that's going to change the result of that play.
Yeah, and it's in the backfield as well, so yep, you see the signal right there, a hold. Crucial penalty right there for the Lakers, backing them up 10 yards at this point, and just can't do that in these games.
Those mistakes going to be costly against a team like Clarkston. West Bloomfield averages about 8.5 yards lost on penalties this season. They had 60 yards worth of penalties coming into this ball game tonight. Down 14-10 against the Clarkston Wolves on the road here in week 5.
Now instead of
5:50 to go here in the second period. It's going to be a first down still for the Lakers, but 1st and 20. Jackson out of the shotgun will fake the jet sweep to James. Now looking way up the field into the end zone and just out of bounds, about 3-4 yards, with Elijah Durham open.
Yeah, it looked like he just rushed that pass, kind of panicked right there because of the pass rush. He had a little bit more time than he thought. If he just takes a little bit, just half a second more on that throw, the Lakers have 6 on that play, I think.
They had some pressure coming at him, and that definitely impacted that throw. Just put a little bit too much on it, trying to get it out clean. That went outside the end zone. So now Jamal Shakespeare will be back in at quarterback for the Lakers on 2nd and 20. They're at the Clarkston 26-yard line on the right hash. 2 split out wide left for West Bloomfield. It'll be Will Thomas and Jaden Allos with Flowers to the right. Handoff to Tate up the middle, met at the line of scrimmage, and he's just going to be dragged to the sideline and out of bounds. Clarkston not going to allow anything to happen on that play. A couple of Wolves in on the tackle, Tyson Scott and Gabe Mansour.
Yeah, just trying to get some yards to make it a little bit more manageable on 3rd down right there, but unfortunately not really able to get anything on that run right there.
Clarkston now starting to figure out that running game for the Lakers, keeping an eye on Josh Tate. And look, the statistics are showing if Jamal Shakespeare is in at the quarterback, it's likely going to be a run. We did see earlier on in this game that first offensive drive for the Lakers. It was all Jamal Shakespeare at quarterback. He threw the ball a few times and was able to help the Lakers advance forward into the red zone. But Clarkston starting to figure out that run game. We're going to see the Lakers probably go more to the passing game in these next few plays, something that's been working really well for them so far this season.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that strike to Elijah Durham, and it's going to be huge right here. It gets a little bit tighter in the red zone to try and pass it, you know, packed up that boundary in the back of the end zone, kind of serving as an extra defender for the defense. So it's going to be huge for the offense to not just kind of be aggressive here trying to get points before the half, but just, you know, being efficient and smart with the football.
A little bit of a plus for the Lakers. There was a face mask called on Clarkston. So this ball now will be at the 21-yard line for West Bloomfield as they're at the Clarkston 21. Once again in the red zone. Down 14-10 about midway through the second period on homecoming night at Clarkston. Both these teams 2-2. Both these teams looking very intently at the Lake Orion and Rochester Adams game. Those 2 games tonight, both the one we got here at Clarkston High School and the one in northern Oakland County, are going to have big implications on the OAA Red Division. Adams 2-0 in the red. Clarkston 1-1, West Bloomfield 0-1. This is going to have some big implications. A timeout on the field too, and now we get to the interesting part, Matt, because with those matchups being what they are, with this having the impact it's going to have, then you got another couple weeks for West Bloomfield with Lake Orion and Oxford. These next 3 weeks are going to determine if that first goal on that list of benchmarks for the season of winning the OAA Red Division is going to be within the cards for the Lakers.
Yeah, I just saw an update saying that Lake Orion got up to a 21-7 lead now on Rochester Adams. So if they're able to hold on there, the Lakers, they're able to take care of business these next few weeks, like Hilbers was saying. They are right back in the picture to win their division.
Either way, it's early on in both of these games. These tend to be matchups that go the full 48 minutes before we know for sure who's going to come out on top. And sometimes, I wouldn't be so surprised if the 48 minutes isn't enough in either of these matchups to determine who's going to get an advantage in the OAA Red Division tonight. 4:41 to go until halftime. 2nd and 14 for West Bloomfield. Shotgun snap to Shakespeare. He's going to roll outside the pocket to the left side, get up to 15. Flag on the field as he gets tackled at the 14-yard line.
Yeah, based on the spot of the flag, I'm going to guess there was a hold and back the Lakers up that much further after they get that beneficial face mask right there to give them a little bit more yardage.
Yeah, kind of will be that reset from before that face mask for West Bloomfield. They get to replay that down. That's about the only benefit at the end of that play. This football moves backwards, man.
And so far, we mentioned too that you can't in these matchups you can't make mistakes. You got to let your opponents really make make mistakes, whether that's penalties or turnovers. So far tonight, the Lakers kind of committing more penalties thus far than Clarkston.
So now the football is going to be placed on the right hash at the 31-yard line of Clarkston. One split out wide to the left on the strong side is Jaden Allos. Two to the right, Cam Flowers and Elijah Durham, with Nate Herbert and Tate in the backfield. Shotgun snap. Shakespeare steps up, looking down the field, looking long into the end zone. And in the range of Elijah Durham, but he is outside the lines of the end zone and incomplete.
Yeah, he's pleading his case to the official, but I don't think he's going to be able to change his mind. Just unable to get that toe tap and get the 6 right there for the Lakers. And just very unfortunate right there, because 6 would have been crucial, as they are just, I think they may just be outside of Ward's field goal range.
Yeah, Durham well covered there by Lucas Bowman and Brady Beck. Double teaming him in the end zone, had a good look, but just forced toward the back end of the end zone and outside of the range where he could catch that ball in bounds. Excellent coverage in the secondary for Clarkston. So now the shotgun snap to Jamal Shakespeare. Pressure coming, he escapes it, he's looking long again, going toward the end zone, and overhead of Durham, he wants the flag. Double covered again, no laundry on the field. It's just gonna be incomplete. As again, a lot of pressure on him from Cameron Love and Brady Beck, who remains on the ground in the end zone. A Clarkston Wolf on the ground. There'll be an injury timeout. As Elijah Durham still pleading his case down to the sideline. He really thought that was a pass interference in the end zone.
Yeah, I'm right there with them. I really can't believe that they didn't throw that flag right there. I mean, I get it, it's a jump ball, but they didn't really even give Durham a chance to go up there and even contest that ball.
You can watch it back for yourself. CivicCenterTV.com, on YouTube at Civic Center TV. Live coverage of West Bloomfield Laker football each and every week, all throughout the regular season, hopefully as well. Some playoff action for the Lakers in 2024 after an historic run a season ago to the state semifinals. And we want to talk about a historic run. There was an historic second matchup between these two teams. First in the regular season at Clarkston High School a year ago, and then that second state quarterfinal matchup at West Bloomfield High School, where it was a back-and-forth game that literally came down to the final seconds before that blocked field goal recovery by Jameer Benjamin that sealed it for the Lakers and sent them to the semifinal.
Yeah, I mean, really, that Lakers team from last year can really just serve as the prime example that you can get hot at any moment, and it's just got to be the right moment, like that Lakers team last year, and you can go on a run.
4th down for West Bloomfield, and they're going to go for it. Let's see if they can get hot right here. 2 split out to either side. Shotgun snap, it's just going to be a pooch punt. Sound decision, it bounces at the 6. It's going to be recovered at the 1. Here comes Clarkston up to the 20-yard line, still on his feet at the 25, up to the 30, and Lucas Bowman pulls a rabbit out of the hat and turns it into some magic for the Wolves.
And there's going to be 15 yards tacked onto that. 'Cause, I mean, I'm not sure why, but it looked like a push was thrown at the end of that play. Someone got pushed down. 15 more yards tacked onto that, probably.
Discipline was one of the highlights of this Laker team in week number 4 against Southfield A&T, something they really emphasized after 2 tough losses to Rochester Adams and Groves back-to-back. And this week, the penalty bug definitely striking the Lakers down 14-10, just over halfway through the second period at Clarkston High School, with both these teams 2-2, and one of them's going to be 3-2 coming out this week. Zach Hilbert said, hey, look, hopefully it's going to be us, but one thing we're definitely going to hear from West Bloomfield's coaching staff at the half, got to clean up the penalties.
Thankfully, offsetting penalties. Otherwise, I mean, really, if you're the Lakers, you can't afford, that back and forth and leading to a penalty right there. So if that had been a 15-yarder, they're starting on plus territory.
Luckily for the Lakers, offsetting penalties, so nothing lost or gained after that massive kick return for Clarkston. 37 yards up to their 36-yard line, about 4 minutes, just under 4, to play in this first half. Clarkston up 14-10. They'll start the drive from their right hash, going right to left across the field at Clarkston High School. Wishenko out of the shotgun, 2 split out to the left. 1 man in motion from the right side to the left side. Snapping a handoff, gonna go left outside the tackles, up to the 50-yard line. Griffin Bowman down to the 49.
Yeah, I mean, so far the Lakers have no answer at all for Griffin Bowman. Oh, but never mind, they do have an answer for him this play, and it's a holding call by the looks of it.
Yeah, just at that point where that run was turning into something, that's where that penalty flag came down. So hold on Clarkston, and they're gonna get set back on first down.
I mean, really a huge holding call right there, backing them up inside of their own 30, whereas that run definitely would have had them in prime position to score right before the half.
So that'll be 1st and 20 for Clarkston, up 14-10 on the West Bloomfield Lakers. From the middle of the field, Wishenko with 2 split out to either side and 1 man Bowman in the backfield. Man in motion, Wishenko drops it on the snap. Clarkston will keep the football, but a big drop back for the Lakers defensively, taking advantage of the bobbled snap.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge for 2 reasons. A, not just, backing them up, but a free hit at the quarterback is the defense's favorite thing in the world. And that's the second time we've kind of seen the Clarkston offense either struggle with an exchange or struggle with a snap. And in past weeks, we've seen the Lakers defense take advantage of that.
Jeremiah Benson and Chops Pittman on the tackle. 3 minutes and ticking to go in the half. 14-10 in favor of the Clarkston Wolves. Both Bowmans in the backfield alongside Alex Wishenko, the second-year quarterback. Throws just outside the tackles and hit and incomplete as Vegas Shea gets in on them.
Really a perfect play by Shea right there. No such thing as pass interference on a play behind the line of scrimmage, and he delivers a nice hit on that screen.
And actually, credited on that tackle, for the first time this season, it's Brody Pecor getting some in-game action. Pecor had been injured, has not played so far this season after labrum surgery from back in baseball season. Kept him out of football action. Seeing the field for the first time tonight and making an impact play for West Bloomfield. 2 split out wide right for the Clarkston Wolves at their 20-yard line. With 2 in the backfield and the sophomore quarterback Wishenko. The shotgun snap, looking to his right side, looking long to the 45. And overhead, incomplete. But there is laundry on the field. They're going to call a pass interference at the sideline.
I mean, I don't really agree with that call. There was a little bit of contact, but the ball was overthrown. It wasn't, to me, it didn't look like a catchable pass, and we've seen it said in the past before at times that, they just kind of reward an overthrown or underthrown pass with a pass interference call.
Over the head of the intended receiver at the sideline, minimal contact with the defender looking back. It's a close call, but it's going to be a call nonetheless and advance Clarkston up to the 36-yard line. 3rd down for the Wolves. They got to get to the 46-yard line to move the chains. 2 split out to the strong side left with 2 in the backfield. Roshenko, draw play, hands it off to Bowman up to the 40, and he'll get tackled, advancing the football to the 42.
I mean, they're looking at about, what is this going to be? No, 4th and 5 right here, 4th and 4. I guess this is, you have to punt it here, but I mean, that penalty right there is just crucial. The Lakers were looking like they were going to probably have the ball at midfield right there in prime position to get points before the half and receive the second half kickoff. That penalty just killing them in that sense.
The tackle made by Vegas Shea before the timeout on the field as both these teams at a critical point in this game. West Bloomfield kicked the ball to begin the game, so the Lakers will get the ball to start the second half. Clarkston has a 4-point lead as we approach halftime on homecoming night, but another score will put them in a very comfortable position with the L Boys getting the ball to start half number 2. So this 4th down is huge for both of these teams. If Clarkston decides to go for it, they can run some more clock, bring this down to the half, maybe get a score. They got a great kicker in Aiden O'Neal that could easily make this a 7-point game. If the Lakers are able to make a stop or at least take the football, they have a chance to take the lead back and be in the driver's seat before we head into half number 2. Clarkston going to quickly come to the line. Bunch formation. Roshenko under center with 2 in the backfield. Taking his time. On the hard count, Roshenko. Trying to get the Lakers to jump. They look toward the sideline for an audible, for some quick communication, but stay under center, same formation, gonna take the full clock, and now Clarkston going to take a timeout. They tried to get the Lakers to jump. The penalty would have moved the chains in favor of Clarkston. Instead, they gotta think this over again.
Yeah, I mean, really, with the way things are going so far and how much time is left in the half, the punting here just makes so much sense, and pinning the Lakers' offense as far back as you can and not giving them that much of an opportunity to score before the half.
Clarkston with 2 timeouts remaining in this half. West Bloomfield with only 1. Both teams can benefit from those timeouts. Clarkston using one to talk over this 4th down decision as they're approaching midfield. They're at their own 42-yard line. So if they're able to get this 1st down, obviously that's the best case scenario for them as they approach this 4th down. And if West Bloomfield takes over, that's the risk that they're running, because West Bloomfield would be in excellent field position, still have a timeout left, probably not even necessarily need to use it if they take a slow, sustained drive. Instead, Clarkston's going to bring out the punt team with 2:29 to go in the half, up 14-10. Live coverage of West Bloomfield Laker football on Civic Center TV and on 89.3 WBLD, Orchard Lake, West Bloomfield, Kego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, your home for West Bloomfield sports. Punt from the 20-yard line, going to go down, be fair caught at the 23-yard line. That's where West Bloomfield will take over with a little bit over 2 minutes to go in this half and 1 timeout in their pocket.
Yeah, you know, the Lakers offense, you know, they haven't really been able to get too much going aside from a few, you know, big plays with the deep ball to Elijah Durham and the kick return. But with the throwing ability that Bo Jackson has, he can really just zip the ball down 60 to 70 yards downfield in a moment's notice. And it just gives you a huge advantage at times like these in the 2-minute drill.
Just over 2 minutes left in the half. It is 14 for Clarkston, 10 for West Bloomfield. Scoring in the first quarter on a Jake Ward field goal and a Cam Flowers kickoff return for a touchdown. Clarkston getting a first quarter score with Brady Beck in the air. And Griffin Bowman on the ground. The first down pass outside for West Bloomfield, going to get up to the 25-yard line, and then he's going to get dragged backwards as Elijah Durham gets the football.
Yeah, you know, just trying to get the ball to your playmakers as quick as possible. Just a screen to Elijah Durham just to see if he can get as many yards as he can and out of bounds as quick as possible. And that's what the Lakers, it was a smart play, but unfortunately not able to pick up that many yards on first down.
Under 2 minutes with a ticking clock at Clarkston West Bloomfield with one timeout, down 14-10. It'll be second down at their 26-yard line. Trips to the right in a bunch formation for Bo Jackson out of the shotgun. Looking to the sideline, caught. Cameron Flowers up to the 30, fighting for the sideline. He's not going to get there. He'll get up to the 31-yard line.
Yeah, just barely are unable to reach for that first down right there. And, I mean, he flashes once he gets that ball. It's just so hard to bring him down, and if he had just a split second more, he might have been off to the races.
Still a couple minutes left. Lakers want to preserve that timeout. Third down and short out of the shotgun. Handoff. It's going to go up to the 35-yard line. That will be enough for the Lakers to move the chains as Josh Tate gets the pigskin.
Yeah. I mean, just a smart call right there. You still have enough time for maybe 1 or 2 run plays right before that play right there. So you take it right there knowing that 3rd and 1, it's going to give you the first down.
1 minute and ticking to go in this first half. West Bloomfield down 14-10. Shotgun snap to Bo Jackson. Pump fakes, goes and looks long, but gets hit. That ball's going to land in the dirt at the 50.
Yeah, kind of showing that screen that they had earlier on the drive, and having a deep shot dialed up right there. And unfortunately, his left tackle or left guard gets pushed right into him, and he's unable to throw that pass.
They'll set up a second down and 10. The line to gain at just beyond the 45-yard line of West Bloomfield. 55 seconds to go in the half. 2 split out to either side for the Lakers. Jackson out of the gun. Takes the snap, quick pass to his left side, and incomplete in the hands of Will Thomas. Got a little too excited and went to bring that football down before he secured it, and instead tossed it right into the dirt.
Yeah, that's just a perfect way to summarize it right there, Tyler. I mean, he was just looking at what he could do after the catch before he had brought that ball in. He recognized the space that was there. You got to catch the ball first before you do anything with that space.
The Lakers on the 36-yard line, third down and 9. Under a minute to play and 1 timeout. Jackson out of the shotgun, got a pocket, looking at the field. He is hit as he throws again and incomplete. Clarkston getting to the quarterback and setting up a 4th down.
His helmet coming off too on that hit. I mean, just a bit surprising. No roughing the passer in that case. Typically, any hit to the head.
He was hit as he threw, as that ball was coming forward, and again, just lands a few yards forward. There is a Clarkston Wolf down on the field after that play. As we look at this Lakers sideline approaching 4th down. They got 9 yards to go for the line to gain. They got 1 timeout left. Not quite worth the risk when you're down 4 points and your defense stood tall on that last drive. Now, Clarkston does have 2 timeouts in their back pocket, so Coach Pintar and company can make a little headway with under a minute to play, use those timeouts to their advantage, and at the very least, try to set up something for Aiden O'Neill, who's got the range. He hit a 49-yard field goal just 2 weeks ago on this very turf against the Oxford Cats in that 23-15 victory. And he's a highly praised kicker for Clarkston, praised by an alum and Kent State alum also in Shane Hines, a 2-time All-Stater and a 2017 All-MAC college kicker. O'Neill still in the long line of great kickers at Clarkston High School. If you're just tuning in, you'll hear a lot more about this ball game throughout the night and even more reviews of this and other news across the greater West Bloomfield area each and every weekday on The Splash Live, Monday through Friday on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. You can also join in on the live show and find us on demand on civiccentertv.com, on Facebook at Civic Center TV 15, and on YouTube at Civic Center TV. Keeping your news live, local, social with the entire team. Kevin McIntosh, Jake Schaff, and myself on the program each and every day. I had a great chance today on our program to speak with Blaine McDowell, the principal at Chico Elementary School, right next door to our studio on Walnut Lake Road in West Bloomfield, where a week from Monday they will have their final farewell tour of that building that was Green Elementary School. Now, up until this year, had been Chico Elementary School. It will be demolished And a new school will be built on this campus and be opened in 2026. Had a chance to talk with her and get a nice update today on the progress so far at the old Abbott, old Roosevelt building, now the home of Chico Elementary School. That available on the Splash Live, only on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Punt team for the Lakers coming out on 4th down and 9. Brady Beck will be back to return this punt for Clarkston. Already got a huge return tonight off of a kickoff early on in this game. Can he do it again and give the Wolves good field position with 2 timeouts and up 4 under a minute to play? Medium snap, the Lakers are gonna run it, they're gonna take it, they're gonna go for it all at the 40. Allos is stopped and dragged out of bounds. A risky decision for Jaden Allos and company. And now Clarkston gonna have one last drive with 40 seconds left on the clock, up 4 points, and they've got 2 timeouts in their pocket.
Yeah, we've kind of seen this in weeks past, them kind of hint at that, him kind of walk up slowly, considering if he might take it. I think he kind of took that a step too long to decide if he was going to take that or not, and that split second too long on whether or not he was going to take that carry might have cost him that first down.
Allos, quite the punter himself. We talk about great special teams for Clarkston. Jaden Allos averaging 45 yards per punt last season for the majority of the year, ended with 33 yards per punt. And so far averaging 35 yards per punt this season. Doesn't matter, Clarkston's gonna start with a first down at the Laker 40. Wojczenko outside the pocket, pass, and it is intercepted. Lakers running the other way, it looks like. And it is. West Bloomfield takes that football back. Will Espy gets in on it and gets an interception, and now, just like that, the pendulum swings right back in favor of the Lakers.
Yeah, I mean, if not for that interception, it looked like that play might have been going back 10 yards because of a hold, but Espy says, you know what, I don't want to hold, I want the ball. And just a huge job right there on that interception, not just on the interception itself, but the return, setting the Lakers up with what would have been about a first down if they were able to convert last time.
Yeah, he got in on the crossing route and caught that ball at the 30-yard line and returned it back into Clarkston territory. Ball placed at the 48-yard line. West Bloomfield with 1 timeout, first down and 10. Jamal Shakespeare in at quarterback, Nate Herbert the fullback, and Josh Tate the running back with 2 split out wide to the right for the Lakers. Shakespeare steps up in the pocket, and he's gonna get hit at the 50-yard line and go down. Clarkston, just like that, jumps over the line and gets to the quarterback, TJ Schaefer, the senior.
But a good job by Shakespeare right there to minimize the loss on that sack right there. He got about as close as you can to the line of scrimmage right there, losing only about a yard on that sack right there.
Lakers got to use that final timeout of the half. It'll be second down at the 49-yard line. There's 21 seconds left in this half. They got to go 49 yards to the end zone, or at the very least get it within the range of Jake Ward. His longest field goal this season so far, only had a couple of attempts, 21 yards. His longest last season was 41 yards. I've seen him practice and hit them from beyond 50. The Lakers going to have to set themselves up well, try to make this at least a 1-point game approaching the half on homecoming night at Clarkston High School. Or ideally grab that lead back before they will get the football to start half number 2. It's a second and long for the Lakers. They got 11 to go to move the chains. They no longer have any timeouts. 2 out to the right for the Lakers, Flowers and Elijah Durham. And 2 in the backfield alongside the quarterback, Shakespeare. Out of the shotgun and whistle right after the snap. And a flag on the field. Likely gonna be a jump, as that was whistled right as that ball was snapped. And it's gonna go against West Bloomfield. It is, in fact, a jump. The Lakers did. They're gonna move back into their territory to the 46-yard line and keep that second down. The clock at Clarkston High School showing 19.7 seconds. Wolves up 14-10 on West Bloomfield.
Again, just another one of those mistakes, so that sets you back that much more.
Allos out wide to the left, Flowers and Durham to the right for the quarterback, Jamal Shakespeare. Two running back system for the Lakers. Malcolm Gibson, the fullback, and Josh Tate, the running back. Some discussion between the officiating crew and the sideline for Clarkston about ball placement most likely, but West Bloomfield, you see Coach Hilbers talking with Elijah Durham, trying to keep the Lakers in line. It is a clock adjustment that's going to be happening. That's what the stoppage is for. Both teams talking it over with the officiating crew, trying to get this settled. It is a critical point in the half. 14-10 ball game, under 20 seconds as it was currently being marked. We'll see what the adjustment ultimately is going to be. West Bloomfield with the football. They just had a penalty that marked them from the 49 of Clarkston back to their 46-yard line.
Zone 21.
And no timeouts for West Bloomfield. They're going to move that up to about 21 seconds. Maybe even more. Still a lot of talk. Coach Pintar down at the 35-yard line, talking with the back judge. Coach Hilbers up there as well with the officiating crews. They bounce between sidelines at Clarkston High School. Now they get going with 21 seconds left in the half. Shakespeare out of the shotgun. Pocket collapses. He rolls outside, gets the hands off the jersey, throws the ball off the middle, and incomplete as Elijah Durham tries to chase that football down to 42.
Yeah, a rare drop from Elijah Durham, and I kind of think it was similar to that drop we saw earlier from the Lakers, where he was kind of focused more so on what was available to him after the catch. If he makes that catch right there, he might be on his way for 6.
The kind of tough pass to catch there. It's a little bit of a lob. It looked like Shakespeare may have been hit as he threw that football, so maybe a bit of a dead duck flying through the air, not quite the spiral that Durham is used to, and a little bit inside his shoulders, he overran that football. 3rd and long for West Bloomfield from the 46, down 14-10. Seconds left in this half. Shakespeare looking toward the sideline, caught, and out of bounds with about 3 yards to the line to gain for Jaden Allos.
Yeah, and it's right at the sticks, so I'm going to assume that they're going to go for it right here, and just a huge play right there for Allos.
And Coach Hilbers talking that over with the officiating crew. He thought that they had the first down. He is still talking with the back judge about that. There's 6.8 seconds left on the clock. And it's either going to be a first down where West Bloomfield's got to make a quick play at the sideline to get that couple of yards to the line to gain. And that's why it's such a crucial play to argue. West Bloomfield also wanting more time on the clock, too. They didn't like how that was marked. So a lot of discussion from the Lakers sideline trying to get this right and give them the best opportunity possible. Try to even this game out, down just 4 points with under 10 seconds to go in the half. 14-10 in favor of Clarkston. 4th down for the Lakers. Shotgun snap to Shakespeare, steps up in the pocket, rolls to his left, still looking across the field, caught at the 25-yard line, and Durham will go down. That will run the time out of the first half. And we'll go to the break. Clarkston up 14-10 as Durham slow to get up after that play.
Yeah, I mean, really, look, his teammates still around him, but looking like he's just frustrated with how the play turned out in the half, but hopefully he'll be good to go for the second half.
We'll have a lot to talk about on this week in Laker football after the next 24 minutes with 24 down here at Clarkston High School. The Wolves on their homecoming night are leading the Lakers 14-10. Scoring review of the first half, Justin Ward with the early field goal put the Lakers up 3-0. From there, Clarkston made their way up the field, and Brady Beck had an impressive touchdown with a PAT from Aiden O'Neal to make it a 7-3 game. in favor of the Wolves. Wasn't too long after that before West Bloomfield evened things out and took the lead back. Cameron Flowers on a 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown put the Lakers up 10-7 with the Justin Ward PAT, and then Clarkston bounced back with a big drive that ended in a easy Griffin Bowman touchdown to make it where we stand right now with a PAT 14-10, and a lot to be proud of for the Lakers in this first half. Those early defensive drives, really impressive. And both these teams playing excellent football, going toe-to-toe against their opponents in these first 24 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, really, so far, both of these teams have adjusted very well to their opponent, and it's going to be important for the Lakers now going into this half, recognizing now going forward that this Clarkston team wants to lean on Griffin Bowman by the looks of it, and they're going to have to find a counter for that. And for Clarkston, they're going to have to look at, we've had things going well for Griffin Bowman, but what are some things that, that we can supplement or add in off of that?
And for West Bloomfield on the offensive side, they've been able to get the running game going early on, but also starting to, much like last week, incorporate that passing game, Matt. And when they've made the plays, they've made big plays, but there's also been a lot of contact in the backfield from Clarkston. That pressure really having an impact on the quarterbacks tonight for West Bloomfield.
Yeah, and you've seen it impact even the play calling. A lot of the passing plays featuring, rollouts and them getting that quarterback outside of the pocket and throwing off the platform. And that's, some things that we've seen as, impact the play calling, because on one drop back where they're not rolling them back, that's where we saw the misfire to Elijah Durham in the end zone from Bo Jackson. The pressure, kind of pushing him off of his footing a little bit, and him having to throw off of his back foot.
And that contact has impacted a couple of what could have been really big plays for Bo Jackson looking down the field. Had a couple of open guys, and just as he's moving that ball forward, he gets hit in the bicep, and that ball ends up landing about 15 yards ahead of the intended receiver into the turf. This Clarkston defense has been increasingly aggressive in the backfield on the Lakers, especially as we got toward the end of that half, really putting the pressure on Jamal Shakespeare and causing the Lakers to have to rush those plays that have otherwise been very effective in the passing game.
Yeah, and I mean, the receivers so far have been looking to get open, but it's just they don't have time to get the ball to them because of how dominant this Clarkston pass rush has looked so far.
We'll give you our perspectives tonight, and then after tonight's ball game, it's this week in Laker football. Early on next week, I'll have a chance to talk with head coach Zach Hilbers about this Week 5 matchup on the road against the Clarkston Wolves, as well as a preview of another tough couple of games coming up for the Lakers at home. Their next homestand, their final 2 home games of the regular season. Ligorian coming in next week, and then after that, it's the Big Blue Trap game with Oxford coming in also back-to-back as the Lakers round out the OAA Red Division season. Get an inside look at the team. We'll talk to some players as well, get to know some of the individuals that make up this 2024 squad. Had a chance this week to talk to the Lakers defensive coordinator, Coach Ron Jones, and get a lot of insight on a young Lakers defense that's been really impressive so far this season, including tonight where we've seen Jeremiah Benson and company getting to the quarterback. It's been a great game also so far. Kind of as a secondary assisting tackler for Corey Pittman and for Vegas Say. And that interception from Will Espy could not have been at a better time for the Lakers.
And one thing that, you mentioned the youth of this defense. One thing that's really stood out is how they have performed in the second half of games especially, and how they've stepped up in the second half of games and really, not allowed games to really get too far away from them or just slam the door shut on some games. So it's going to be interesting now, that conversation going on amongst the defense of how they can shift the balance in this game.
West Bloomfield Laker football exclusively on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. If you want to follow your Lakers all throughout the season, this is the place to go. CivicCenterTV.com/LakerSports. We'll have all your scoring updates. That's where you'll find this week in Laker football. And then have even more updates all throughout the season, especially as we get toward playoff time. You'll want to know where the Lakers are going to be, who they're going to be playing, if things continue to go their way in the next few weeks. and we get back into the MHSAA Division I playoffs. Another great place to go, right here on Civic Center TV on YouTube, at Civic Center TV. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon for free. You'll get notifications every time we go live with West Bloomfield Laker football, and when we post videos such as This Week in Laker Football, The Splash Live, and plenty more programming from across West Bloomfield, Keego Harbor, Orchard Lake Village, and Sylvan Lake. Find us across social media, Facebook at Civic Center TV 15, YouTube, Instagram, and on X at Civic Center TV Television. That's close to home. And Matt, we've been able to celebrate homecoming at West Bloomfield High School last week in that big victory against Southfield A&T. Tonight, that is the scene at Clarkston High School. As you see the cheer team out on the field and homecoming court getting ready to take the field as well. Meanwhile, on the sideline, one man who's all business at halftime is the Laker kicker, Justin Ward. Mr. Consistency. He came into this week 14 for 15 on extra points, 1 for 1 on field goals. He was 2 for 2 on field goals and has had a couple of extra points and has had 1 extra point attempt tonight. So now 15 for 16 on those field goals. He has been fantastic for the Lakers, and this special teams has had a lot of weapons for the Lakers on display over the last couple of weeks, especially that Week 4 performance against Southfield A&T, where it was arguably the most impressive phase of the game.
Yeah, and really, we've seen the special teams we saw them step up in the second half of the Rochester Adams game and really give them life and put them in a position to win, or to be in the position to arguably win that game. So it's going to be huge to see how they come out and attack on this opening kickoff, to see if we see a repeat even of that 100-yard kickoff return from Cam Flowers.
We are halfway through this ball game at Clarkston High School. It is 14-10 in favor of the Wolves. As you, if you're watching on Civic Center TV or on our website, are enjoying the homecoming festivities with the marching band for the Clarkston Wolves coming out on the field. And as you can see on the other side, if you're watching on TV or our streaming broadcast, a packed house at Clarkston High School. I want to give a huge shout out to our team on site, Dave Scott and Dom Catoni, operating our camera and our equipment out at the 50-yard line on the West Bloomfield sideline tonight. We want to thank you for tuning in also to Laker football on 89.3 Lakes FM. Special thing that we're doing this year, keeping things simple on those away broadcasts. I want to also thank the team at Clarkston High School for their hospitality tonight. It's not easy to accommodate all that goes into a football game at the high school level in Michigan, especially in the OAA Red, and we are thrilled to be out here at Clarkston High School tonight for this ball game. And Matt, we came into this game knowing that both these teams had a whole heck of a lot of playmakers, and we've seen them make big plays so far tonight. Josh Tate on the ground for West Bloomfield, Elijah Durham in the air for the Lakers on the offensive side, and same goes really for the Clarkston Wolves. It's been a really impressive night on the ground for Griffin Bowman and in the air for Brady Beck.
Yeah, I mean, really, we saw this offense kind of take off once they started getting a steady diet of both Beck and Griffin Bowman. We saw them, have a few good plays with just Beck featured, but that once they had that screen going and started supplementing in some runs with Griffin Bowman, that's when we really started to see this Clarkston offense take off, and it's going to be huge to see how this Lakers defense stops Griffin Bowman going forward.
Yeah, and the defenses for these teams have been equally as impressive too, especially in the trenches. We talked earlier on about the pressure that Clarkston's been putting on Bo Jackson and Jamal Shakespeare, and their linebacker core starting to really figure out the running game and not give so many opportunities to Josh Tate. Same sort of goes for West Bloomfield in that defensive front, that interior, where Jeremiah Benson and Josh Bryant, their defensive end and defensive tackle, have become a dynamic duo for this team on that defensive front and causing a lot of problems for opposing O-line so far this season.
Yeah, and really these past few weeks especially, we've seen Benson and Bryant step up and just kind of be a force of havoc inside of that interior in the run game. And it's going to be huge to see how they step up and not just, stop the run game, but apply pressure to the quarterback, maybe force a bad throw or two, and we see maybe a second interception where, like in weeks past, we see this one get returned for 6 and the Lakers are out in front.
one thing that has not been so impressive really for either of these teams, but particularly for the Lakers, has been the penalties in the first half. It is a close game, and it's always a contentious game between the Lakers and the Wolves, one of the great rivalries in the last 5 to 10 years in southeastern Michigan. Maybe perhaps a little bit of the motivation behind some of the discipline issues in that first half, but the team that's going to keep their calm, their composure, and just simply focus on making plays, Matt, may be the one that has that last advantage in this game and comes out victorious.
Yeah, turnovers aren't necessarily the only mistakes that you have to worry about. Those holding calls on first and second down that really put you in a hole early on and just kind of dictate your play calling and don't really give you a chance to get anything going on offense. We've seen the Lakers get these penalties really at midfield and just kill drives for them.
Lakers having several penalties near the end of that half that really kept moving them back and forth across the midfield line, in and out of plus territory, where when they've been able to get into plus territory, and especially into the red zone, they've been excellent all throughout the season. Now, it's not helping that tonight the pressure being put on the quarterbacks for West Bloomfield, not helping them make those plays, but all the more reason you gotta tighten up the discipline in half number 2, because one player that has been able to make some big plays tonight has been Joshua Tate, and he is having an incredible season on the ground for the Lakers, surpassing 300 yards early on in the first quarter.
Yeah, and really so far tonight, the Lakers offense has had its two most reliable candidates, kind of carrying it for them, Elijah Durham and Josh Tate. But going forward, it's going to be important to see guys like Jaden Ellis. We saw that comeback route for him that were on that opening drive where they got 3. But it's going to be guys like that kind of getting in and making an impact if the Lakers are going to want to win a game, or this game.
It is a 14-10 ball game here at Clarkston High School at halftime on homecoming night in the Wolves' Den, in a game that's going to be very consequential in the OAA Red Division. The Lakers coming into this game 0-1 in the Red. Clarkston coming into this game 1-1 in the OAA Red Division with a loss last week at Rochester Adams. So they are also 0-1, my apologies, in the OAA Red Division after losing to Rochester Adams, and then their win in the OAA Red was 2 weeks ago against Oxford. So West Bloomfield 0-1, Clarkston 1-1, Rochester Adams 2-0, and they're going up against Lake Orion tonight in a very consequential game that's going to have an impact not only on this game, but also on the outlook for the OAA Red Division, because if the Dragons are able to come out with that victory tonight, that's going to shake up the entirety of the OAA Red. It goes from being advantage Rochester Adams by a mile to being a very tight race.
Yeah, and really a key to this race is going to be, again, that quarterback position. Right now, the Lakers tonight still don't necessarily have an answer, neither quarterback really being able to get in a rhythm. But at the same degree, with how they operate this offense, it's got to pick or choose one at this point if they're going to rely on more of Shakespeare's running ability, or if they want to try and go for that dynamic passing offense that they may be able to achieve with Bo Jackson.
It's looking more and more like things are about to get really interesting in the OAA Red. Lake Orion scoring just about a minute ago to go up 28-17 over Rochester Adams in Dragon Country with 2:34 left to play in the third period in that ball game. So advantage to Lake Orion right now, and what would even things out a little bit in the OAA Red Division. Let's take a look at the standings. Lake Orion is 0-1 in the Red. With a win tonight, they would be 4-1 overall and 1-1 in the Red. Rochester Adams would be 2-1 in the Red, but 4-0 overall. So because of those 2 wins, they would have the lead in the Red Division. Same would happen if Clarkston were to pull out this victory tonight against the Lakers. They would be in second place in the Red with the tiebreaker going to Adams because of their victory last week. But if West Bloomfield's able to pick up a win tonight, they get into that second place position as they go up against Lake Orion and go up against Oxford in the next consecutive weeks. And all of a sudden, a couple more things go their way, maybe another Adams loss down the line. West Bloomfield could be seeing itself in a few weeks in a position to win the OAA Red as they go up against Oxford 2 weeks from tonight.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's a week-by-week basis sort of thing that the Lakers just have to go into each week addressing each opponent with the attention that they deserve. And like Coach Hilber said, in this division, if you're competing for the division title, if you're going to be in it to win it each week, or you could very well lose each week. It's going to be a tight game each week, and you're going to have to be detailed and disciplined and not make the mistake that we've seen them make mistakes that we've seen them make today with these holding calls.
And look, it's still a learning curve for the Lakers. Even 5 weeks into the season, they returned 7 offensive starters and even fewer on the defensive side of the ball. Then you take into effect that they have a 2-quarterback system. They're all adjusting to this still early in the season and building those calluses. We've seen over the last couple weeks them be much more effective on the offensive side, moving the football. A little bit of that benefit is playing against a very young team in Southfield A&T, but I think this is going to be one of those things where you see the progression clear and present week in and week out on the offensive side, whereas that defense has been playing excellent and been playing like a veteran defense so far this season.
Yeah, I mean, really, the defense so far, much like the special teams, but not necessarily because they're on the field much more, it's kind of kept them alive some weeks and, kept them in ball games. And, they've been extremely consistent. One thing that they've got to do is just, kind of limit some of these runs inside the interior that we've seen, allow games to get away from them.
That chemistry definitely the debate in some areas here for the Lakers. Down 14-10 at Clarkston High School at halftime. We appreciate that debate going on in our YouTube chat at Civic Center TV as we live stream our broadcast of tonight's game and all of West Bloomfield Laker football all season long, regular season, hopefully some playoff action as well. You can follow along and join in on the conversation about the L-Boys and this competition tonight and beyond on YouTube at Civic Center TV. As you see Justin Ward and Aiden O'Neill around the 35-yard line talking things over. 2 excellent kickers out of the OAA Red Division. Ward with that pedigree in his family name here at West Bloomfield with his brother Jake. A kicker for the Lakers during their 2020 championship run, now a kicker at Central Arkansas. And Aiden O'Neill, a guy with a booming leg himself, the junior for Clarkston, in a long line of excellent kickers. And a tough act to follow on his side, too, with Steady Eddie Langton graduating last year. And if there's ever evidence of whether or not kickers are important to their football team, it's these 2 guys you're seeing on the field on our TV and streaming broadcast and that we're talking about on the radio side. These 2 kickers are going to be crucial for both of these teams, potentially even in this very ball game tonight, as we're within a 1-score difference, 14-10 at the half.
Yeah, kickers sometimes the forgotten position. You got the Adam Sandler song about them, so that should really just show the importance that they can have on the game sometimes, and just how important it is when you have a great or consistent kicker. And that's something that both of these teams are able to fall back on at times.
It's West Bloomfield down 4. They will get the ball to start the second half as you see a lot of these homecoming festivities coming to a close. The marching band making its way off of the field at Clarkston High School. You saw the cheer team earlier on and the homecoming court as they came in from the West Bloomfield sideline and went across to the Clarkston sideline with a great turnout tonight for their homecoming game as the West Bloomfield Lakers make their way back out onto the field. And tonight, a special night for them in the leadership side, too. A longtime varsity football player for the Lakers, Brody Pecor, making his first tackle of the night in his first game of the season. He has been on this team, much like Brady Beck for Clarkston, a multi-year starter. Began his varsity career as an underclassman, as a quarterback, as a running back. He plays a little bit of tight end and receiver. He's been a kick returner. He's been a placeholder for the kickers. This is a versatile player and a great leader. That can have a huge impact, too, on this team because now they got even more depth and experience on the offensive side and an additional leader for that linebacking core and that group of safeties and nickels on the defensive side.
Yeah, we've seen Pecor actually, kind of take that, those wildcat snaps, if you would, where he takes it on those 4th and 1s, 3rd and 1s, those direct snaps and those carries, where because he's, the more physical runner, the, power back, if you will. So it's going to be interesting to see if, they kind of phase out Josh Tate or Shakespeare on those design quarterback keepers or those wildcat carries and start to factor in Pecor.
It kind of took on a bit of an assistant coaching role early on in the season with his experience at the varsity level, and he wanted to emphasize that. I talked to him before the season about his injury and not being able to play for most of the first half of the season and then having to ease back in. He said, look, I think being coachable has made me able to become the utility player I am today, and he loves being on the field, loves being around the team and helping them learn coverages, learn blitzes and formations, see what to recognize as this young team learns from number 5 early on in the season. Now they get to see it in action too. And he's excited for this season. He wants to leave it all out on the field. Last season being motivation, getting so close to the championship game. And he's going to be playing baseball in college. So this football season, whenever it ends, whether it's regular season, playoffs, or with a state championship trophy coming home, as you see number 5 on your screen on our TV and streaming broadcasts, dead center. This is it for Brody Pecor, and that's kind of the message that he's sending to his entire team. And what better time to send it to the team than right now, as the Lakers get ready for these final 24 minutes to get the football down just 4 points to start the half number 2.
Yeah, and really you got to get points on this. You had 2 opportunities to take the lead before the half, and you weren't able to come away with any points. And, coming out of here, having the benefits, talk things over, game plan on how this defense has been playing you a little bit so far. You got to come out and score to start the second half.
24 minutes down, 24 minutes going back up on the clock, 12 for this third period coming up in just a moment as the Lakers trail the Clarkston Wolves 14-10 on homecoming night at Clarkston. The Lakers, another one of their many away games on the schedule, just 4 home games. And the next 2 weeks will be those final 2 games at the Swamp with Lake Orion and Oxford coming in. That game, as well as the final 24 minutes of tonight's contest, all with you on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. You can also tune in on the Facebook page of the West Bloomfield School District and on our Facebook as well, live, and join in on the conversation with Laker fans across Greater West Bloomfield and all around the world. Facebook at Civic Center TV 15. We're also on YouTube at Civic Center TV as Aiden O'Neill brings the pigskin out to the 40-yard line on the left hash, where he will kick this football off to the West Bloomfield Lakers. Back to receive for the Lakers, Cameron Flowers and Elijah Durham, as well as Jaden Allos. Flowers with a first half kickoff return for a touchdown as part of what's kept West Bloomfield in this game, down 14-10. Here we go, 12 minutes on the clock in this third period. That kickoff going to go back into the end zone for a touchback, and West Bloomfield will get their first offensive drive of the second half. Started to move the ball a little bit late in that first half, but some penalties, some mistakes, and a lot of pressure from Clarkston stopping them. What adjustments does this offense need to make in half number 2 to get back out ahead of Clarkston early on?
Well, one thing I think we could see them do more is just, keep Josh Tate in the backfield a little bit more on these passing plays. They're not able to get enough time in some of the successful passing plays that we've seen them have because they've had that split second more because of the pass blocking from the running backs.
First down and 10 for the Lakers at their 20-yard line off the touchback. Durham split out wide to the right, 1 man out to the left side, and 2 in the backfield alongside the Wildcat, Joshua Tate. He'll take the football himself up to the 20-yard line, and stuffed at the line of scrimmage is actually Jamal Shakespeare. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Lakers.
Yeah, just trying to pick up some easy yardage on that first down right there, but unfortunately not really able to pick up much, if at all.
The Lakers will get friendly placement there. They'll get 1 yard on first down and set up 2nd and 9, just seconds into half number 2. Trips right for the Lakers, and 2 out to the left with Jamal Shakespeare in the backfield, the lone quarterback. Looking to his right side, quick pass to Elijah Durham. He goes inside, drops the football, and Clarkston has it. That ball comes out, and it rolls right smack toward Hank Hornung, the junior cornerback. And now Clarkston going to have great field position on their first offensive drive off of a massive turnover.
Yeah, and really, we saw the drop pass from him right before the half. And there, with the fumble, you just can't have a design. Just quick look to Elijah Durham, and the yardage was there. The ball gets punched out, and now Clarkston in prime position to get off to a huge start in the second half.
Could not have come at a worse time with the Lakers down 14-10. Had the advantage in their hands to start off strong, get that lead back. Now Clarkston has a chance inside the Laker 30-yard line at the 28 to expand this to a 2-score lead. Quads to the right for the Wolves. Out of the shotgun, it is snapped to Mick Mahaffey. He takes it out to the 25, down to the 10. They'll mark him likely at the 11 as he tried to reach that football out. The sophomore backup quarterback had some game action in week number 2 in that blowout victory, and he's got some legs on him too. He ran there for just a few, but had a 24-yard touchdown rush at Southfield A&T, and a guy that, much like Alex Wojczenko, probably not expecting to be on varsity this season, but was upgraded from the freshman team for 2024. As Wojczenko makes his way back out on the field, trips to the right for Clarkston. 1st and 10, handoff, and slammed in the backfield right on top. Jeremiah Benson knew what was happening, and he stops Lucas Bowman.
Yeah, after that initial carry to start the drive, a huge tackle right there by Jeremiah Benson to just completely wipe away all that momentum that might have came from that first carry for the offense.
That'll set up a 2nd down for Clarkston. West Bloomfield taking a knee, an injured player. Now they're just taking the rest as Clarkston likes to huddle really far back from the line of scrimmage. 2nd down, snapping a handoff right up the gut, rolling, getting slammed, getting spinned. But that's going to be enough for a 1st down for Griffin Bowman.
Yeah, Griffin Bowman so far has just been moving the chains consistently for Clarkston tonight, and he's just been phenomenal the way that he's just exploded out of the backfield as soon as he touches the ball.
They'll set up a 1st down for the Clarkston Wolves. Getting closer and closer to pay dirt, up 14-10 early on in this 3rd quarter. 2 split out to the left and 2 in the backfield. The quarterback, Alex Wojczenko, with Lucas Bowman to his left, tosses it inside to the other back, gets outside to the 15-yard line, and then tackled swiftly after that as that ball goes to Lucas Bowman.
Yeah, again, just another intricate play design right there for the Clarkston offense, and that's one thing, that they have done tremendously here tonight. They've not just, ran the ball physically. They've thrown in a few of these just nicely designed or well-designed plays now and then that have the opportunity to break for 10 to 20 yards.
Be 2nd down and 10 for Clarkston at the Laker 19. Trips to the right for the Wolves. And 1 in the backfield alongside the quarterback, Wojczenko. Takes the snap, quick pass inside to Bowman, Lucas Bowman, and he'll advance forward to the 10-yard line, probably going to get marked at the 11 off of the tackle.
They've had these quick little passes for the quarterback to either Lucas Bowman or Beck, and that's really been not necessarily their entire passing game, but most of their passing game here tonight. These quick design looks for their backs out of the screen game.
And Griffin Bowman is just an excellent athlete. Runs really hard. He's fast, 4.5 40. Making an impact tonight. Straight up the gut. That's who it is. Griffin Bowman back in the end zone, and another touchdown for Clarkston.
Yeah, and I mean, they are just not able to bring him down or slow him down, really, as soon as he just gets to that first or second level. It's exploding through tacklers, and they are just They just cannot find a way to bring them down, and it's taking 2 or 3 people, and once they get down to inside the 20, they don't have the energy left to tackle them.
Just like that, Clarkston's got the double. They're up 20-10 on West Bloomfield. The PAT would make it 21-10 off of Griffin Bowman's second touchdown of the evening. O'Neal with that special sort of hip twist warm-up, kicks the football through the uprights and makes it a 2-score game. Now things are interesting for Clarkston, up 21-10 early on in the third quarter, and West Bloomfield has to answer on this drive.
Yeah, I mean, we said coming out of the half that they needed to get points. Now they need to get points once again. You know, that fumble just crucial coming out of the half, you know, gifting Clarkston those points. And now the Lakers offense has to find a way to answer them.
A costly turnover from Elijah Durham just a couple plays into this half gave Clarkston the football in plus territory, and they turned that into a touchdown to go up multiple scores on West Bloomfield. It is an 11-point game, 21-10 in favor of the Wolves, as Aiden O'Neal will line the football up at the left hash for the second time tonight in this third period to kick the ball off to the West Bloomfield Lakers, hoping to have a little more success on the second offensive drive of half number 2. Flowers, the primary kick returner for the Lakers tonight already, with 1 for a touchdown. Since then, Clarkston been avoiding it and kicking it into the end zone. They'll do that again. It'll land about 8 yards in the end zone for another touchback, and the Lakers will start off from their 20.
Yeah, I mean, again, we were talking about the benefit of having a great kicker. See that on that kickoff right there when we've seen the Lakers employ it as well, where you can kind of decide when you're going to kick it to the other team or give them an opportunity to return it and just boot it out of the back of the end zone. A lot of high schools don't necessarily have that luxury at kicker.
Yeah, you got a kicker with the leg like O'Neal's, you can do that, and hey, well, why be content to give the Lakers a chance with a short kick in good field position or a long kick and seeing the potential of Cam Flowers? Set them up guaranteed at the 20-yard line. That's what Clarkston does, as the Lakers will begin with their first down on the right hash. Snap and hand off to Tate, right back to the line of scrimmage and tackled at the 20. No gain, it'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, I mean, we've really seen Clarkston tighten their run defense, especially in these last few drives for the Lakers, and not really give up much for Josh Tate or Shakespeare on their carries, kind of forcing the Lakers into this position now where they're going to have to throw the football.
There'll be a friendly placement for the Lakers. They'll get 1 yard on first down to set up 2nd down and 9. Another yard for Joshua Tate as the Lakers make some substitutions. Jamal Shakespeare gets the call from the sideline. 7:25 to go in the third quarter. It is 21-10 in favor of Clarkston. James in motion. Shotgun snap to Shakespeare. He takes it outside. Got a little bit of space. Advances to the 30-yard line, along the sideline, and up to the 35, and makes a big play.
Yeah, a huge first down pickup right there for Shakespeare, and one that the Lakers desperately needed, as they've just really been struggling to move the sticks.
The motion on the fake jet to Devin James gives Shakespeare an opportunity. He's got the space, turns on the jets, gets to the sideline, and advances the football forward for West Bloomfield. They'll remain in at quarterback, Joshua Tate and Malcolm Gibson, the running backs. The two split out to the right in Allos and Flowers, and Durham to the left side. Handoff to Tate up the middle, met at the line of scrimmage again, and bowled backwards by these Clarkston linebackers. In on the tackle, Hank Hornung and Tyson Scott.
Yeah, just keying in on the run right there. Clarkston just not even really looking like they're remotely expecting West Bloomfield to pass at all right there.
The interior rushing game been shut down really since the beginning of that second quarter. This front 7 for Clarkston been absolutely powerful in the trenches, stopping the Laker run. The 2nd down snap to Shakespeare. Rolls outside toward the sideline, caught at the 45-yard line and out of bounds for Jaden Allos, just a yard shy of the line to gain.
Yeah, and right here, this is going to be crucial because the Lakers haven't been able to get much going in the run game, really even get many runs past the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 1. So offensive line right here has got to move this defensive front for Clarkston if they want this first down.
Lakers 2 yards shy of the line to gain. They got to get up to the 46-yard line. Bunch formation. Tate out of the Wildcat. Gets to the line to gain. He is close. And they're going to give him that first down. They're going to move the chains right on the line, and he gets it.
Yeah, I mean, a huge one that they needed to pick up right there. They've been struggling in the trenches so far, and that's just one where you can really just boost the entire morale of your offensive line.
5:48 to go in this third quarter off the Josh Tate run. Moving the chains for the Lakers to the 46-yard line as they're approaching plus territory. 1 split out wide to the left and 3 in the backfield for the Lakers. They'll hand it off to Tate. Goes left outside through his blockers into the 45, advancing forward with the reach to the 45.5-yard line and just shy of the line to gain. It'll be 2nd and 1 in plus territory.
Yeah, but just putting a little extra oomph into it on the end of that run right there to make it 2nd and inches too.
Shakespeare out of the shotgun handoff, right up the gut, and just enough to move the chains. They got those inches, and they're going to get another first down.
Yeah, you know, a very physical display so far by this offensive front and Josh Tate to start this drive, and something that, you know, we needed to see from the Lakers to start off this drive after that fumble.
Lakers starting to sustain this drive and march up the field. They're in plus territory, down 21-10 off the Griffin Bowman touchdown. First down out of the shotgun for Jamal Shakespeare. He'll take it himself on a quarterback draw, back to the line of scrimmage. And he's going to be swarmed and taken down by Tyson Scott and company. Also in on that tackle for the Clarkston Wolves, Benny Adams and TJ Schaefer.
Kind of running the option there, but just nothing available whatsoever for Tate or Shakespeare on that option right there. And again, this Lakers offense is going to have to find a way to pass if they're going to want to win this game.
Nothing lost in gain, 2nd and 10. Between the hashes at the Clarkston 44-yard line for West Bloomfield, down 21-10 in the third. Play action from Gibson and Bo Jackson, and an incomplete pass out to the right side to Joshua Tate. Sets up 3rd down.
Yeah, there were some yards there for Tate, but Shakespeare unable to get the ball to him because he's just getting hit as soon as he's releasing that ball. The Lakers' offensive line just not really giving either quarterback any time to throw, and they're going to have to just start considering keeping Tate in there on every drop back.
It was in the range of Tate to be able to catch that, just a little bit low and a little bit of a shaky pass because of the contact. So 3rd down with 4:17 to go in the third quarter, and the Lakers down 21-10 at Clarkston. 1 split out to the far left side is Durham. Shotgun snap to Shakespeare. He'll roll out to his left, goes back up the gut, puts his shoulder down, and marches forward to the 38-yard line.
Making the stop is number 2, Brady Cody.
A lot of contact, a hard hit at the end of that play. As Shakespeare put his head down, drew the contact, and moves forward. A Clarkston athlete on the ground now, as there'll be an injury timeout, and they will look after the injured Wolf. We enjoy having you with us here on our broadcast on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM, and enjoy you joining in on the conversation about your West Bloomfield Lakers football team on YouTube, where we are one of over 1 million views across our channel since we began years and years ago. 10 years plus of history, fun, memories, news, and milestones available for you on demand. And you can join us across our social media. Again, Facebook at Civic Center TV 15, YouTube Civic Center TV, Instagram Civic Center TV, and X at Civic Center TV. Go ahead and tell us what you enjoy about our programming and why you are happy to be 1 in 1 million. We'd love to hear from you. We thank you for tuning in on our YouTube page for all of those years, as We celebrate those great moments in our community. Some more of those coming up. One of our favorite annual events in the fall, the West Bloomfield Fire Department Open House. Just a couple of weeks away, Sunday, October 13th, from noon to 3 p.m. at Fire Station Number 1 on Orchard Lake Road. Had a great chance to talk with West Bloomfield Fire Marshal Byron Turnquist about that on the program. Kevin McIntosh and the Fire Marshal previewing that fun event. You can find that conversation on demand alongside all of our other content from the Splash Live on civiccentertv.com. Best thing about that, Matt, is in past years that open house has been on a Lions football day right during that ball game. Not going to be the case this year for the open house. No more excuses. Everybody come on out. Back to action. Shotgun snap to Shakespeare. Getting pressure. Rolls outside. Throws up forward. And bobbled and knocked out of the hands of Jaden Allos. Great coverage from Clarkston. Knocks that ball incomplete.
Yeah, I mean, just nowhere to go with that ball, even after just, escaping a collapsed pocket once again, and just this pass defense for Clarkston not giving the Lakers anything whatsoever.
Clarkston just being able to put a lot of pressure on these wide receivers. It speaks to the veteran nature of that secondary. Hank Hornunga Jr., Brady Beck, a senior, Lucas Bowman, and Jack Kopsch, both juniors. And then you bring into the fold guys that can kind of bounce between that linebacker and safety position like Tyson Scott and Brady Cody, a junior and senior respectively. They got a heck of a team out there playing football on the defensive side. Now Clarkston gonna get the ball to turn over on downs. Snap to Wojczenko, runs out to the left side, out toward the 40-yard line, fighting for it toward the sideline, gonna get a couple of yards.
And this is really a make or break drive for the Lakers, as this could just be the backbreaker for them, where if they give up a touchdown right here, they're down 28-10 late third quarter. It's won't be looking too good, so they got to find a way to not just get a stop, but maybe even get their hands on the football and put the offense in scoring position.
He was tackled inbound, so 3 minutes and ticking in this third period. Clarkston has the football up 21-10 on West Bloomfield. Trips right for the Wolves. Snap to Wojczenko out of the shotgun. Quarterback draw past the 50, down to the 45. Still fighting up to the 40. Still on his feet. And he advances forward.
I mean,
multiple
a very
flags on
impressive
the
run.
field, though.
He just refused to go down on that run right there. And as you said, multiple flags on the field by the sound of it, but just an impressive run right here as they're just starting to take advantage of the attention that the Lakers are paying to the Bowman brothers.
Couple of penalties. One definitely going to be a hold. A second one came as the play came to a close. Appeared to be on the Lakers. Potentially some offset in those penalties. Likely in this case would give an advantage to Clarkston. All right, that second flag, the second flag also associated with that holding, both referees clocking that and calling it. It's going to set Clarkston back after a really impressive run for the quarterback, Alex Wojczenko, a sophomore who is tough, runs with a head of steam, and for his size, 5'11", 170, man, can he play bully ball when it comes down to fighting time. 2:40 to go in this third quarter. Second down for Clarkston. Up 21-10 in the third. Trips to the right. Shotgun snap to Wojczenko. Getting chased. Pump fakes. Tries to escape. He gets out of the pocket. Back up to the 35. Dives forward to the 37. And right about back to the line of scrimmage. Man, that young fella can play ball and make something happen out of nothing.
Yeah, it looked like they had another one of those screens set up for Beck or one of the Bowman brothers, but the Lakers did not bite on it this time around. They sat on it. But, I mean, just an incredible play right there by Wojczenko to just find a way to somehow get back. I mean, it looked like he even gained 2 yards on that play.
A young man that expected, as he told the D-Zone, to be on the JV team. suddenly thrust into the starting position as Brady Collins transferred to U of D Jesuit. And he has been excellent all year for Clarkston as he takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls to his right, throws, and over the head of his intended receiver by a mile at the sideline. Jonathan Edison on the coverage for the Lakers.
Yeah, but I mean, it looked like Jeremiah Benson. I believe that's who it was. Yeah, Jeremiah Benson just absolutely obliterated him on that throw right there. And I mean, that's likely why he wasn't able to dial in him right there. But just again, that Lakers front stepping up right there on that 3rd and long and ensuring that they get the ball back.
You said it yourself, Matt, that defense needed to make a stop. It is 4th and 12, the $1:29 to go in the 3rd quarter. Still a manageable game for West Bloomfield, but they are down 21-10. Clarkston showing punt, but we've seen some trickery already tonight in this ball game. They will kick this ball off. They'll go beyond midfield, land at the 34, be recovered by Elijah Durham. He's met quickly, gets contact going backwards, and Clarkston gonna make a big play off the punt. -2 for the West Bloomfield Lakers and Elijah Durham on that return.
Yeah, he was able to make the first guy miss, breaks that tackle, but unfortunately after that, he's not able to advance the ball upfield at all. So it's going to be, a huge drive right here for the Lakers at their own 20. It's going to be interesting to see how they come out. They can't really run the ball as they have because of the time situation, in my opinion. So do you kind of, try and get Bo Jackson in there some more to see if you can force the ball downfield?
Do you keep some consistency at the quarterback position on this drive and try to build that chemistry and build some momentum? 1:17 seconds left in the 3rd. West Bloomfield is down 21-10 after that stop on Clarkston. This drive will begin from the right hash at the 28-yard line of the Lakers with Jamal Shakespeare in at quarterback. 3 split out to the left side, 1 single receiver out short to the right is Elijah Durham. James in motion, snap to Shakespeare, screen pass to James, outside up to the 30, the 35, 40, 45, 50, 50, down to the 40, down to the 45, to the 30, down to the 25. Once again, Devin James with a massive run.
Yeah, I mean, a very well-designed play by the offense right there on that screen to James. They fake the jet, send him back out on the screen, and he makes one guy miss out of the backfield, and then he is just off to the races, and I thought he was going to be in the end zone on that one.
Young man has some serious speed, the 6'2 senior. 3 carries for 62 yards and 2 touchdowns coming into today, including a 38-yard rushing touchdown last week, and a massive gainer for the Lakers puts them in plus territory with under a minute and ticking in this 3rd quarter, down 21-10. Again in motion is James, same setup as last time. Shakespeare gonna throw up the field beyond the screen of Flowers, and he'll advance down to the 16. Now we're starting to feel it on that offensive side, using those strengths, the speed of James off that screen to set up an absolute weapon in Cam Flowers and get him the football.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get your playmakers the ball in space. They do that right there. They get Flowers the ball, and he's able to advance the ball upfield, and now they have the ball inside the red zone.
Under 20 seconds with a rolling clock in the 3rd quarter, 21-10 in favor of Clarkston. Lakers at the 18-yard line, snap. Quarterback draw will go up the gut, get back to the line of scrimmage, and that will be it for the 3rd quarter. So with 12 minutes left to play, it is 21 for Clarkston, and it is 10 for West Bloomfield. But they are marching into the red zone. They're in the red zone, approaching some dangerous territory for Clarkston, and a chance to bring this game back from 11 to 4 points.
Yeah, and really the crucial thing here is not getting any penalties, because if you, for some reason have to kick a field goal here, it's not the end of the world, because then you're just it's still a 1-possession game. You get 1 defensive stop, you're a touchdown and 2-point conversion away from a tie game. So just that's all the offense has to focus on right here. Don't make any mistakes like a holding call or a false start and set yourself back behind the sticks.
If you're feeling down on the Lakers right now because they're down 11 points on Clarkston going into the fourth, let me remind you of a calendar year ago. With 7:39 to play in the fourth quarter in this regular season matchup last season on this same field, right around this very same time of night, the Lakers were down 37-14. And they advanced, made some big plays, and got back within 8. They made it a 36-44 game with 18 seconds left and just happened to run out of time before they could tie that ball game up. They have made some massive comebacks before. Jamal Shakespeare, Jaden Allos, Cam Flowers, Elijah Durham been part of that. Can they do it again at the 18-yard line to start the fourth quarter? A handoff going nowhere for the Lakers as Clarkston makes another big stop.
Yeah, and I mean, really, nothing really developing for this Lakers run game in the second half. We're going to have to see them sort of hopefully just start leaning on this quick passing game and maybe getting the ball in some of their playmakers' hands.
Nylan Maycock on the West Bloomfield Schools Facebook page rooting for the Lakers, saying, come on, Lakers, as we go into this fourth quarter. Hoping to see a comeback and maybe this time a victory on the road at Clarkston High School. Early in the fourth, West Bloomfield is down 21-10. Shakespeare still in a quarterback, 2 split out left, out of the shotgun, looking to his left, rolling outside the pocket, getting chased, escaping the tacklers. It's down to the 15, enough for a first down as Jamal Shakespeare uses his speed, keeps looking down the field to keep the secondary and those trailing linebackers honest. They're actually going to mark him just shy of the line to gain. It'll be fourth down. Actually, short of the original line of scrimmage, not the line to gain. My apologies. It'll be fourth down. The Lakers going to go for the points instead with Justin Ward coming out on the field. He's going to kick this ball from the 23-yard line, make it a 33-yard field goal. His longest of last season was 41 yards. This would be his longest so far in 2024. The snap, the hold, the kick, and it is good. Justin Ward, Mr. Reliable, but there's laundry on the field after the fact. Some extracurricular conversation with the Lakers and Isaiah Gray alongside that Clarkston front. Nonetheless, the score is now a little bit more even. It is 21 for Clarkston and 13 for West Bloomfield.
Yeah, I wonder who that was on. I mean, based on how the coaches were acting on the sideline, it might have been on Ward after the kick, but I mean, just again, those crucial mistakes that you can't have in these moments. You get a field goal right there to make it a one-score game. Then you get a 15-yard penalty after to just make or give Clarkston that much better field position on the kick.
You expected this to be a close game, a physical game, a dramatic game, and here we have 3 out of 3. 21-13 is the score in favor of the Clarkston Wolves. In the final period of this ball game, West Bloomfield getting just 3 on that offensive drive that saw them moving into the red zone, a place where they have scored 72% of the time that they've been there so far this season coming into this ball game tonight. And now they still got a chance. They got to make another defensive stop, and much like last time Clarkston had the ball, it's got to be a quick stop, because you don't just want to tie this game up. You want to be able to have an opportunity to make an additional stop and hopefully have another offensive drive. What's not going to help that is that personal foul penalty after that field goal, which will set West Bloomfield back and kicking this ball off from their 25-yard line as opposed to the 40. We'll see that kicking power perhaps come into play here for Justin Ward as he'll kick that off to Brady Beck and Mick Mahaffey for Clarkston. Got some power under it, but not going to go too far to the 22-yard line. Return by Clarkston, breaking the tackle up to the 40, up to the 45, and ultimately to the 48-yard line, setting up incredible field position for the Wolves as Mick Mahaffey takes that one for about 25 yards.
I mean, really, and it goes back to that penalty. If you don't get that penalty, I'm just going to presume that Ward probably boots it out of the end zone, and Clarkston's starting their drive from the 20 as opposed to the 50 right here.
With some pressure on the defense, with the Lakers down 21-13. 10:08 to play in this fourth quarter. Lakers making quick work to get on the board early on in the fourth quarter. Now got to limit the time that Clarkston has the football and make a stop. First down and 10 for the Wolves at their 48. 4 split out to the right for Wishenko. They're going to throw it back to the running back. It's going to be a trick play and a throw down to the 25-yard line and a first down for Brady Beck. They put Mick Mahaffey in at the quarterback. They snapped the ball to him. He tossed that to his right side to Lucas Bowman, who made a throwing play to get the ball to his senior wide receiver and fellow team captain, Brady Beck, for a first down.
Yeah, I mean, really just another well-designed play. Kind of similar to that pass that we saw West Bloomfield legend Donovan Edwards throw for Michigan. You know, that screen pass and then someone trickling downfield. And Clarkston uses that penalty to their advantage, and now they're right inside field goal range, arguably.
So now it's going to be a first and 10 for the Wolves at the Laker 25-yard line. Bowman in motion, snapping a handoff to Griffin. Bowman up the gut. He'll get 2, maybe 3 yards before being dragged down on first down, setting up second and long.
Yeah, you know, now, again, it goes back to that defense. They got to stand up right here, kind of maybe push them back, try and ideally, you know, push them back a few yards this play, put them in a passing situation, try and get a sack that pushes them outside of field goal range on fourth down.
9 minutes left in this ball game. Becomes even more critical for the Lakers as it's official, 28-25 victory for Lake Orion over Adams. Rushing play goes up inside the 15, down to the 13, and moves the chains for Clarkston.
Yeah, I mean, really, that pass right there is a backbreaker because now inside of the red zone, and they haven't had an answer for Bowman this entire night. It's that play, if they had been able to force an incompletion on that pass play, that trick play, that would have been a huge stop for the Lakers.
Now the football is placed at the 13-yard line. The Clarkston Wolves going to have a first down and 10. Wishenko out of the shotgun. One split out to either side. Extra lineman. They hand it off to Lucas Bowman up the middle. And he's going to advance forward down just beyond the 10-yard line.
I mean, again, they've just been so consistent so far tonight, just carrying it about 7-8 yards with each carry. Just a phenomenal running game for Clarkston.
That'll bring up a first and goal for the Wolves. As both teams will go to their sideline with a timeout. Coach Hilber's talking things over with his veteran team on the sideline. Those veteran leaders, those young defensive players who have been making such big plays all season long. 8:13 left in this ball game. Now's the time where they got to make a big stop. There's been plenty of huge defensive plays over the last few weeks in this same territory. A touchdown last week, intercepted by Kalik Robinson in the end zone against Southfield A&T. Chops Pittman has 2 interceptions on the season, both pick sixes. The Lakers got the defensive weapons to make a huge stop here deep in the red zone. And now's the time they gotta do it. First and goal for Clarkston at the 3-yard line. On the right hash. Lakers defense back out on the field. Clarkston now making their way back out with Alex Wishenko, their sophomore quarterback, and this offensive front looking to expand this lead. Currently is 21-13. Wazhenko out of the gun, handoff to Lucas Bowman, right side pushing forward, and he's in the end zone. Touchdown for Clarkston.
I mean, really exactly what you expected Clarkston to do once they got that ball inside of the 30-yard line is just try and just pound the rock until they could get into the end zone, ideally. And that's exactly what they did. And just a phenomenal display by their offensive front today with how they've been able to move the ball in the run game.
Makes it a 27-13 ball game in favor of Clarkston. They're going to set up for the PAT as Aiden O'Neill comes out to the 10-yard line. And could make this, again, a large advantage for the Clarkston Wolves, would make it a 13-28 ball game. O'Neill's kick is up, and it is good, just like that. It is 28-13, a 15-point ball game in favor of Clarkston. 8:01 to play in this ball game, and now again, West Bloomfield's offense is going to get the football with a lot of pressure now on them, as we are a quarter of the way into the fourth period. 4 minutes down, 8 minutes and some change left to play, and the Lakers have a lot of ground to cover, and they got to do it quick.
Yeah, we saw some momentum get going in the passing game, but now, they're expecting you to pass at this point, I'd assume. So it's going to be interesting to see, this Clarkston defensive front has dominated the line of scrimmage today. So how the Lakers come out and attack it and try and, scheme up some time for Shakespeare or Bo Jackson, whoever they have in to throw, is going to be interesting to see.
Thank you for tuning in to live coverage of West Bloomfield Laker football on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Our network expands on social media as well. On Facebook at Civic Center TV 15, Chantel Robertson still believes, giving us a comment, "Let's go Lakers." Late in the fourth. Short kick from Clarkston, gonna land at the 21-yard line. Flowers gonna take it, rolls outside, going backwards, trying to make a big play, escapes, still on his feet, still looking for a lane, still going backwards, that's the wrong way, goes up to the 25, and finally settles for that return.
Yeah, I mean, Cameron Flowers is, like we said earlier, one of those guys, if you give him a lane, he'll take it and he'll burn you for 6. And right there, he's just trying to find that line, unable to find one, and ends up losing some yards on the return.
Here comes the big test for this Lakers offense. Who's going to step up and be the playmaker? Are they going to get their playmakers to football and have opportunities with this defense playing the way that it's been playing this evening to march their way back into this game? Jamal Shakespeare is coming into the game to start this drive at quarterback. We've seen him take the majority of the quarterback snaps tonight. First down and 10 for the Lakers. Ball placed at the 27-yard line. 4 split out to the right side and 2 to the left. Man in motion for the Lakers. It's Bo Jackson. He gets the ball. Now he's running to the opposite side. We're looking to set up a trick play and a pass. Not much going to come from that. He'll go down at the 28.
Not too different from what we saw Clarkston do. They tried to scheme up, a screen pass of their own, jet sweep pass of their own. But, a bit of a giveaway having your quarterback being the recipient of the jet sweep. So Clarkston doesn't really bite on it, and the Lakers aren't really able to get much, if at all, on that.
Ball is now at the 28-yard line on the left hash. 2 men in the backfield for West Bloomfield, including the quarterback, Jamal Shakespeare. Shotgun snap, breaks down, rolls out the right side, looking for a pass, sets up and throws it long. Going far at the sideline and out of play, out of bounds.
He just geared up to just sling that one right there. Unfortunately, unable to dial up right there. Nobody really open, not much time, and really, with the situation in the game, what else can Shakespeare really do up there except heave it downfield?
They saw a one-on-one matchup with Will Thomas, his intended receiver, going long on the right side of the sideline. Really the only opportunity he had as he went through those progressions from what we could see, and just launched that 50-50 ball. Tons of pressure on the intended receiver, and over his head, out of bounds. Now 2 split out to either side in the receiving corps, with 1 man in the backfield alongside the quarterback, Shakespeare. Shotgun snap, a little bit of a pocket, and that collapses, and he goes down. Tyson Scott sacks the quarterback.
Clarkston has been bringing pressure on a lot of these downs here tonight, and the Lakers have just had no answer for this defensive pressure that Clarkston has been bringing. And that has honestly been the biggest killer in the passing game tonight. Not, misfires or drops, but just the constant pressure that the quarterbacks have been under.
This core of linebackers have been dominant, and they were there on a huge 3rd down sack that will bring out the punt team in Jaden Allos. Time not on the Lakers' side, as they are down by a massive deficit at this point in the game. 15 is deadly, down 28-13 with 6:06 to play in this ball game. Punter Jaden Allos takes his time and launches that football past the 50, going to land at the 37, recovered and up to the 40, past the 40 toward the 45, and now Brady Beck getting slammed and sent backwards. They'll give him forward progress just shy of the 40-yard line. Actually, they'll give him forward progress quite generously to the 42, where Clarkston will have another chance on the offensive side and perhaps be able to put this ball game away.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect a trick play like we saw them open with last time. More so just, a steady diet of the Bowman brothers once again. Because at this point in the game, even if they don't pick up or score points, they want to pick up first downs and chew up as much clock as they can.
Very, very similar to what we saw the Lakers just 2 weeks ago with Groves. Had some chances, didn't take advantage, and Groves ran away with that one in the end, ultimately by a final score of 28-13, and that is where we currently stand, and Clarkston has the football. Shotgun snap from the 42, handoff for Clarkston up the gut to the 45, advancing forward to the 48, and a big gainer on first down for Lucas Bowman.
Yeah, those are the exact type of runs that the Lakers are going to have to prevent in this situation if they're going to want to have a chance to win this game or even get the ball back for that matter. So if they keep on giving up 4 or 5 yards a carry, Clarkston's just going to keep on running until they chew out every second of this game.
Be 2nd down and 5 for the Wolves. They got to get up in the plus territory to the 48-yard line to move the chains. 4 split out to the right for Clarkston and 1 in the backfield. They'll bring a man in motion, Colton Williams. Hand it off to him in the jet, going to the left side. Shifts in forward about 2 yards past the line and gets up to the 48-yard line. Clarkston will get the first down and move this thing forward. There we go. There's the signal. We were waiting for it. Referee on the sideline was standing on the line to gain, but the chains had not moved. Now they do. And Clarkston in plus territory. Clock is running. Clarkston taking their time in the huddle, will get the ball on their left hash at the 48-yard line of West Bloomfield, up 28-13. Roshenko out of the pistol, hand off to Bowman, straight up the gut to the line of scrimmage, +1 before the Lakers' defensive front gets there and shuts down the run.
Yeah, I mean, really just a rare occasion where they've been able to bring down one of the Clarkston ball carriers at or near the line of scrimmage here tonight. It might be a little story of, or a little bit too late.
Coach Hilber's taking a timeout, the first of 3 for West Bloomfield, 2 remaining in this ball game. And just before that, giving some words to the referee as he pointed toward the time clock. Really wants to keep that in check, as that will be huge for the Lakers going forward, so they'll be able to make a stop in these next couple of downs and get the football back. Still a winnable game at this point, down 15 at Clarkston, but with 2 timeouts, they got to make the stop first and foremost. They got to get in the end zone, and a lot of luck has to go in their favor too over the next few minutes. We'll get plenty more analysis on this ball game from Coach Hilbers and company next week. Coming up early on next week, it's This Week in Laker Football, your exclusive weekly look into the West Bloomfield Lakers varsity football team on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Here's how we do it. I talked to Coach Hilbers about the game that just passed, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the lessons from it. We preview the next game ahead later on in the show, and in between, we'll talk to a player, we'll talk to a coach, we'll get some insight on what makes this Laker team in 2024 its a unique identity in this season, as they are 2-2 right now, staring down potentially 2-3, and making their way out of the race for the OAA Red Division Championship. Clarkston with the football, second down, up 28-13 late in the fourth. Handoff right at the gut to Bowman, going to get back up to about the 42-yard line and advancing forward.
And it looked like they blew the whistle as soon as that play ended too. Hilbers just following the officials around, ensuring that he can get that timeout in as soon as the play ends.
Jamal Shakespeare coming up a little bit shaky there. His left leg kind of bouncing around on his right leg after that play. He plays both sides of the field, quarterback, running back, athlete on the offensive side. You take that over to the defensive side where he plays safety and has made some big plays in the last couple of weeks for the West Bloomfield Lakers, including an interception in week 1 and a muffed punt return for a touchdown last week at home against Southfield A&T. Coach Hilbers is at the 40-yard line, talking over the rest of this defensive drive with his senior linebacker, Vegas Say, a transfer from Brother Rice. As a big third down is on its way for the West Bloomfield Lakers. The original line of scrimmage at the 48-yard line. This ball gonna be at the 41-yard line. On a third down and 3. 4:10 to go in this contest. Bunch formation, 2 split out to the left for the quarterback, Wojciechowski of Clarkston. Handoff to Bowman, goes left side, outside the tackles, up, gets a first down and more, breaking free, he's on his feet, and he is going home. Seals the deal for Clarkston with another touchdown for Lucas Bowman.
Yeah, and I mean, it was obvious at first that run was going to pick up the necessary yardage to get the first down, but then it just kept on going another level, then another level. And that has just been the story of this Lakers defense tonight. They haven't been able to put a lid on some of these runs and stop them at the second level. They've allowed them to get to the safeties, and just the safeties haven't really necessarily done their job of stopping these runs.
And just like that, it is 34-13 in favor of the Clarkston Wolves. Potentially 35-13 after this PAT from Aiden O'Neill, who's been anything but consistent for the majority of his career. Sorry, nothing but consistent the majority of his career, as this one goes up and splits the uprights just like that, as we said. 35-13, a 22-point ball game. Now look, West Bloomfield's come back like this in the past with 7.5 to go last season. On this field, they were down 37-14, and were able to even things out to be 36-44, knocking on the doorstep of potentially tying the ball game a year ago. But a much, much tougher task ahead for the L-Boys, with under 4 minutes to go in this fourth period and down 13-35. Just over 4 minutes, my apologies. The clock reset to 4:02 as the Lakers will get ready to receive this kick from Aiden O'Neill as the special teams front for the Wolves. Taking a little bit of extra homecoming night time to talk things over. Their gray uniforms with dark navy blue letters and numbers, the gold trim around it, and those winged helmets like the University of Michigan has. West Bloomfield in their white uniforms with green numbers and those white helmets with the numbers on the side. Tonight are the uniforms at Clarkston High School. Like Michigan State Spartans in this rivalry matchup that always brings the entertainment. Tonight it's been perhaps more entertaining for Clarkston as they squib kick this ball, lands at the 17-yard line. Flowers going to take it outside to the 30-yard line, looking for an opening, and will settle for it at the 35.
I mean, a really good job by Flowers right there. It looked like he was about one block away from that being 6 right there again. Unfortunately, unable to set the edge right there.
Had a kickoff return for a touchdown early on in this ball game. In the first quarter, that gave the Lakers a 10-7 lead. And that was the last time they saw the lead. A few minutes later, Lucas Bowman got his first touchdown of the evening in the first quarter to put Clarkston up 14-10, and they have had the lead ever since. Now we stand at 35-13 with under 4 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. First down for West Bloomfield. Snap to Shakespeare in the shotgun. Throws over the head of his intended receiver at the 45-yard line, looking for Elijah Durham, and incomplete. Durham frustrated after that play.
Yeah, and I mean, really, when you're a receiver of his caliber and his talent level, this quarterback situation, to say the least, has to be a little bit frustrating. And because when you're a receiver, you want the ball. And so far this season, Elijah Durham and Flowers not necessarily touching the ball as much as you would like.
Offensive coordinator Ken Rise, head coach Zach Hilbers favoring Jamal Shakespeare at the quarterback in this ball game tonight. His versatility, being able to get outside the pocket and run the football, but still has the arm, certainly the arm talent to make some plays. Haven't seen that too much tonight as he takes a second down snap. Throws outside left to Cam Flowers, low and dropped right at the line to gain, or just before, sets up third down.
Another crucial drop where right about around the area where they would need to convert, they drop a pass being too concerned about what they're going to do with the ball after they catch it, and that falls back to what we were saying. You need to be detailed. You need to be disciplined. Look the ball in and then assess what you can do with it afterwards.
Off the incompletion, third down and 10 for the Lakers. They're at the 35. There's 3:45 to play in this ball game, down 35-13. Shakespeare breakdown in the pocket. He's going to look long, throwing the ball way deep. And it is caught with a touchdown. Elijah Durham again reuniting the bomb squad. And he has his second touchdown of the ball game. He has his first touchdown of the ball game, his second long ball touchdown in 2 weeks.
Yeah, a very impressive catch and throw right there. Shakespeare, not much time to get that heave off before he took a hit, but he just delivers a bomb to Elijah Durham, who jogs off the field right after the touchdown. Because as you can understandably see, it's been a frustrating night for this Lakers offense.
Was very unhappy a couple plays ago after the ball intended for him was over his head by pretty much double his height. And then got that ball there in tight coverage, pulled it down, and got in the end zone. The PAT from Justin Ward is good, which will make this a 20-35 ball game with 3:35 left in this contest. 15-point ball game once again for the Lakers. They have very, very little left in their pocket other than making stops, making plays, and taking advantage of their opportunities. They had to take a couple of those timeouts earlier on to stop the clock and try to keep that defense in check.
And now their best chance now, given those timeouts, is onside kick here or somehow forcing one of the Bowmans to fumble on a carry.
Got a precision kicker like Justin Ward that can make that happen, but we've seen these short kicks before, even earlier on in this game. Didn't quite work out, and the up men for Clarkston clearly talked that potential over during the week. Were able to make a play. The Lakers had to re-kick that, so it didn't matter. Now perhaps maybe they will try it again. Maybe luck will be on their side, or maybe they'll put that reliance on their defense to make a stop with 3.5 and some change to play in this ball game. It's going to be a short kick. It's going to be an onside. A lot of contact as the up man brings it down and holds on the football, landing at the 35-yard line. And there goes the flags again after the play.
I'm not sure if the flag's definitely not on the hit. It's definitely for what was said afterwards. But that was a phenomenal hit given the situation.
Either way, it doesn't seem to matter. Clarkston's going to have the football. They're going to march it back. A personal foul call on the Wolves after that onside kick recovery. That'll help the Lakers a little bit from a field position standpoint, and that's about it. Limited timeouts, and a Clarkston offense that's been able to keep moving and sustain drives, relying on the Bowman brothers in the backfield, especially Lucas Bowman late in these ball game tonight. So this front seven, they got all the pressure on them, but let's not forget, Alex Rosenko can make some big plays in the air against some of the best secondaries in the state. Only had one touchdown pass last week to Brady Beck, but back in week number 1 against arguably the favorite every year in Division I in Belleville, 243 yards in the air and a passing touchdown, as well as a 42-yard rush against the Belleville Tigers. Lakers sideline really talking it over with the referees who want to get the clock right. They don't like something that's going on here. Both of these sidelines now having some discussion with the officiating crew. Before this drive gets started, it'll be a first down for Clarkston, but a first and long off of the unsportsmanlike conduct call following the onside kick. 35-13 is the score in favor of the Clarkston Wolves. With a win tonight, Clarkston would advance to 3-2 overall and 2-1 in the OAA Red, tying Rochester Adams in that regard, with Adams having the advantage over Clarkston in a tiebreaker after their victory last week. Lake Orion is 0-2 now in the OAA Red, as the Lakers may be if this score persists. Off the first down rush, going nowhere and going backwards, forward progress to the line of scrimmage, +1 to the 31-yard line.
And I don't think the Lakers opted to use their timeout there. So it's going to be interesting how they plan on using that, because really they can only afford to, or no, they can't afford to give up a first down. So really, ideally, I believe they'll get the stop here, then maybe use it before third down to try and game plan a crucial third down stop.
Under 3 minutes and clock ticking in this ball game. Second down and long for Clarkston, up 35-13 on West Bloomfield. 2 in the backfield alongside the quarterback Wajenko, and 2 split out to the far side right. Wajenko going to hand it off, rolls inside left, see gap wide open, and he's got nothing but green ahead of him. Holding call in the backfield, but Lucas Bowman going to get in the end zone a third time. The celebration likely not to last very long for number 1.
I'm interested to see what this call is too, though, because it kind of looked like he was reaching for his flag before the play even started.
Call was for holding. Message from our producer Dave Scott on site giving me that call after the play. We didn't see the flag go up on our screens, and as you're watching, you didn't see it on Civic Center TV and on YouTube, but it was there. So this touchdown for Lucas Bowman, which would be his third of the evening, going to go back. Clarkston going to have to play that one again. They move even further back. The ball now placed at their 21-yard line, just a couple of yards inside that right hash.
And I mean, really, we talked about those mistakes, and that's one of them right there for Clarkston. If this comes back and West Bloomfield's able to come back and get the ball, live back to bite you in the butt.
Time still the biggest consideration, other than the points, of course, for West Bloomfield. Snapping a handoff to Griffin Bowman outside to the left toward the sideline, trying to get forced out, and he does go outside of the sideline. So the clock will stop in benefit of West Bloomfield after that play.
Yeah, I mean, really huge that they were able to force him out of bounds right there. Now they have.
They did not force him out of bounds. The clock is still running. So he was able to make a smart play and go down just inside of the sideline to keep that clock in motion. Hilbers doesn't like it though. Coach thought he was out of bounds, and that is a crucial moment. Ball is now placed at the 35-yard line, 7 yards to the line to gain. On third down for Clarkston, whistle blows. Clarkston going to go to their sideline and talk it over. Clarkston uses one of their timeouts. They're also in a crucial position. Strategically, you get a first down here. Game is pretty much over at that point in extracurricular. West Bloomfield limited in their timeouts at this point. They've already used one earlier on in the half, a couple of series ago on the defensive side. So it's not like they can clock these plays after each down and take the ball back and have a lot of time left. West Bloomfield's not going to have, if they do get the football back, much of any time to get rid of this 13-35 deficit and try to, for the second consecutive year, make a massive late game comeback. And this time, with a different outcome, if they were able to come back and win, versus what ended up being an 8-point loss, 36-44, last season. 1 minute, 41 seconds left in this ball game. Third down and about 7 for the Wolves, up 13-35. 2 in the backfield alongside the quarterback was Zhenko. Snapping a handoff, looking to go inside, met immediately at the line of scrimmage, pushing, both teams pushing to stop the forward progress or move it. Forward progress will stop at the 34-yard line for Clarkston.
And the Lakers making sure they get that timeout as soon as that play is blown dead. Now, they got an opportunity. It's all you can ask for.
Zach Hilbers, the head coach for the Lakers in his second season, right next to the official as that play terminated, bringing up fourth down for Clarkston. Lakers take a timeout. As we get to the crucial moments of this game, about 90 seconds or so left to play here. West Bloomfield is down 35-13. 2 touchdowns tonight for Lucas Bowman, 1 for his brother Griffin in the third quarter, and a huge Brady Beck long ball touchdown in the first quarter are the scoring plays for Clarkston. For West Bloomfield, a field goal from Justin Ward in the first and in the third quarter. And then a couple of touchdowns, a kick return for a touchdown for Cameron Flowers in the first. And just a few minutes ago, a long ball touchdown to Elijah Durham. 1 minute, 33 seconds to go. Fourth down for Clarkston. They got to get to the 40-yard line to move the chains. Maryland Dye with the punter behind them. I say that because they may try to play something here. They don't, though. Instead, kick this ball. Down and out of bounds. It'll be placed at the 34-yard line. With a minute 26 left to play. West Bloomfield, time not on their side. Timeouts, not a tool in their toolbox right now to use at their disposal. Gotta make some quick work. They were able to do that on a bomb pass their last series to Elijah Durham. Is that the connection? Or do they go to somebody else down the field? Maybe Jaden Allos. They tried earlier on a long ball to Will Thomas unsuccessfully. And they still have the speed of Devin James, who has 3 touchdowns on the season. 2 touchdowns on the season coming into this game, and 3 massive rushing plays in those jet sweeps. Likely we're not going to see those because of the time considerations. Trips right, shotgun snap to Shakespeare, looking long, past the 50-yard line, down the field, short of his receiver, and it's picked off. Oh man, Devin James was about a yard in front of that football. Clarkston saw it, got in front of it, knew they were gonna be short getting that pick, and got right under it. Brody Rotter, the cornerback, picking that football off and sealing the deal for the Clarkston Wolves.
Like you said, it looked like James had a step on him, but Shakespeare just not enough arm to get that ball to him. And it's just a bit more of an arm punt, and Clarkston's able to get underneath it and seal out this game.
A heartbreaker for the Lakers on that particular play. Just a little bit overran that route, did Devin James. It had the range, it had the accuracy. It's just about a yard in front of the intended receiver, and that's just enough space for Clarkston to get under that football and make a play. So now here they line up in their favorite formation, victory formation, at the 27-yard line as the sophomore quarterback, Alex Rozhenko, will kneel the football one more time through that, and it will be the end of this ball game. Another impressive performance for this sophomore quarterback, and an even more impressive performance for the brothers Bowman out of the backfield for the Clarkston Wolves. And what's even scarier than their performance tonight and their performance last season is that the Lakers aren't done seeing these young fellas. They're just juniors. Rozhenko, a sophomore, on this final play, as Clarkston again will pick up a home win against the West Bloomfield Lakers. Just like that, it is over in Clarkston. Final score, 13 for West Bloomfield and 35 for Clarkston. Sorry, 35-20, my apologies, is the final score. 35-20 in favor of the Clarkston Wolves, as these two teams out of the OAA Red Division will shake hands at midfield as we complete this game. And Matt, we came into this knowing this game was potentially going to have big implications in the OAA Red Division. And now after the result in the Lake Orion-Rochester Adams game, where Lake Orion won 28-25, those implications certainly there, not going the way of our team here in West Bloomfield tonight as they lose by a big margin to Clarkston.
Yeah, before the game, we saw Coach Ilber say, one team's going to be 3-2, the other team's going to be 2-3. We just got to try and find a way to be the team that's going to be 3-2. Fortunately, they kind of just got out tough tonight, and they couldn't stop the run, and they couldn't get much going on their side of offense. So it's going to be much more crucial going back to the Swamp next week that they're able to take care of business at home.
The silver lining for the Lakers is exactly that. They still got 2 more games in the OAA Red, one of the toughest divisions in the entire state of Michigan, which means tough division, tough losses. You pick up some wins against other teams with really tough schedules, you get yourself in position to still make the playoffs. And the Lakers only with 3 losses at this point. Clarkston last season made the playoffs with 5 losses, and ultimately ended their season against the Lakers in the state quarterfinals. So it's not out of the cards for this Lakers team to have a really successful year going forward. Unfortunately for them, things not going their way against some of the toughest competition in the state so far this season, losing to Groves 3 weeks ago, Rochester Adams 2 weeks ago, and tonight against Clarkston. Your final score tonight, 20 for the Lakers, 35 for the Clarkston Wolves. A huge thank you to our entire crew, Calvin Brown, our pregame producer, Dave Scott, and Dominic Catoni, our producers and camera operators on site at Clarkston High School, and of course, my color commentator, Matt Catoni. Alongside our entire team, we thank you for tuning in. I'm Tyler Kieft. Final score, West Bloomfield 20, Clarkston 35. This has been Laker Football on Civic Center TV at 89.3 Lakes FM.